Bose warns future entrepreneurs that it isn't only about being successful on the surface or just being successful in business. You also need to take care of your mental health.
Business is one thing. You hear a lot of people talk about they want to be bosses and things of that nature. And the first business I'm going to tell you that you're ever going to learn to run is the business of you, what I call you incorporated. And until you can really conquer that business, you may have success at other business for a while, but eventually it's going to crumble because your inner world creates your outer world.
According to the Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health, Black adults in the U.S. are more likely to report symptoms of emotional distress. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Doors take us to summers away or winter adventures and afternoon getaways. Your dedicated Fidelity advisor can help you open those doors by working with you on a comprehensive plan to help you reach your wealth's full potential. Because doors were meant to be opened. Visit fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimum supply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE SIPC.
From local town councils to Capitol Hill, agents who are realtors are standing up for what's right. We're here protecting property rights. Here advocating for the issues that affect our neighborhoods. Here championing fair and equitable housing for all. Because we are realtors, bound by a code of ethics, driven to serve our communities. We're here for it all. Here for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect that of the staff and management of Good Karma Brands, but are the sole responsibility of the host and guests of this particular show.
America may have many, many days, but they will be full of trouble. There will be no rest. There will be no tranquility in this country until the nation comes to terms with our problems.
Bringing you social and political commentary from his mouth to your ears, breaking down the issues which matter to you.
You are not put here to be a white man's footstool. You are put here to represent the very best in God's word.
Legendary civil rights icon, the Reverend Jesse Jackson in the studio. Reverend Jackson, how are you?
Mr. Reverend, good morning on this chilly Milwaukee morning.
And I am pleased to have one of the founding members of the Black Panther Party, Chairman Bobby Seale. Mr. Chairman, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing just fine. Thank you.
To Mr. Eric Holder. Mr. Holder, so good to see you. How are you?
Well, I'm fine, man. How you been? It's been a long time. Haven't seen you for a while.
The Dr. Cornell West. Dr. West, how are you, sir?
My dear brother, you're so kind, you're so generous, man, but I salute you and the work that you were doing there. Doing a magnificent job there in Wisconsin.
Stream live on 1017thetruth.com. Call in with your questions or comments. 833-212-1017. Join us on social media at 1017 The Truth. It may not be what you expect to hear, but I will definitely give you what you need to know. Are you ready for the truth?
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Sherwin Hughes.
Good morning. Welcome to the program. Today is Thursday, the last day of August 2023. However, it feels like first day of fall. I watched in horror as Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell essentially froze. And he was at a pretty easy event, pretty easy gathering. I believe it was a Chamber of Commerce, and he was asked a question about his reelection. And how ironic is that, right? When we talk about if someone is fit for public office and then he vacated, he disappeared. You could tell that the lights were on, but nobody was home. And I think people are using this example of, well, he needs to go, and Dianne Feinstein needs to go, and Joe Biden needs to go. Donald Trump is no spring chicken either. Donald Trump is 77 years old. It's interesting that Donald Trump at 77 and Joe Biden at 80, like they would have been in high school together at the same time, but there is a vivaciousness of Trump's 77 compared to Joe Biden's 80. If not 81 years old, right? There's a huge difference in just the output of their personalities. And maybe that's what happens, right? So by the time Donald Trump gets to be 80 or 81 years old, maybe he will slow down dramatically as well. And I'm paying a lot of attention to every single thing that Joe Biden says. He's not really doing a lot of public speaking and public engagements. He's not really getting on Air Force One all that often and coming and talking to the American people. He's not doing much of that. That's probably on purpose. I also have started seeing some things in the world of journalism where Joe Biden may not necessarily run for re-election. Like, I think at this point in time, he has to say that he is, because you don't want to give the Republicans additional fodder and let them, start attacking him as a lame duck, because then if he actually admits he's not going to run for re-election, they're not going to pay attention to any of his policies. But his campaign organization is very, very small. It's very, very limited. In fact, it's like 4 people. And they're all located in his home state of Delaware. This doesn't look like someone who is gearing up for the campaign of their lifetimes, trying to beat back what probably will be the Republican nominee, Donald Trump. And maybe it is age related. I don't see the energy level, because what you have to do with the American people is you got to communicate your level of energy, right? Your emotion, how much you want the job, how you believe that you'd be the best president. And it takes a lot of energy to be able to come across to the American people that you're ready, that you're fit. Yeah, you're old, but you actually can defy people's expectations if you come across with a certain level of energy. He doesn't have it. He sounds tired. And I don't want to join in a chorus of very conservative people that do not want Joe Biden to run again, but he just looks like he's nearing the finish line. And before we all start beating up on people as they age, I need y'all to understand something. That thing that happened to Mitch McConnell, I need y'all to know that is going to be us. And it's real easy while we still have all of our mental faculties and we're still doing very, very well. Age is cruel. It is. And I think it's rich for people who are relatively younger to look at somebody else who is considerably older than we are, and for us to tell them to step down. That is not how it works. Here's the other thing. My generation is going to have a problem with aging more so than the baby boomers. They don't want to step down. They don't want to quit. They don't want to retire. They're staying in their jobs way longer than they probably should. I assure you, my generation is going to be worse. The millennials are going to be worse still. If you find something that you love, it is your passion. And a lot of you don't have your passion, which is unfortunate. I feel very bad for you if you have not found something yet in life that you love, that you would do for free, something that fulfills you. I hope you find it. And if you do find it, you're not going to want to quit. You're not going to want to stop. Even if other people are telling you it's time to retire, it's time to step away, because think about what you were asking this person to do. You were asking them to stop existing. Because when people do what they love, and I'm just going to go ahead and assume that Mitch McConnell loves being a U.S. senator, because he's never had ambitions to run for president. I don't think he's ever want to run for governor. I don't think he's ever wanted to run for attorney general. I think he really loves being a senator. And then for people to tell him that he needs to stop, and he probably knows that, but at the same time, he is doing what he loves. And it's very, very hard to tell somebody who is very good at their job, it's their passion. It's more than a job. It's more than a career. It's their vocation. Big difference between a job and a vocation. But based upon the episode that we saw yesterday, I think instead of us beating up on this man, we need to have a little bit of empathy. And I know how y'all are, because you don't like his politics and you don't like things he said or things that he's done, that you feel that he is no longer a human being worthy of our empathy. I don't ever take that track. I also understand that politics is a game that most lay people and most voters do not understand. Is he probably a jerk in real life? Yeah, probably. But a bunch of y'all are too. I mean, I'm a jerk. Doesn't make us any less human. But that is going to be us. And we're going to hate getting older. And we are going to hate being told by younger people that we need to just move aside. I'm very conscious of what aging does to people, because I saw it firsthand. I was very close with my maternal grandmother. She passed away in 2012, just shy of her 96th birthday. And she faded fast, too. Starting when she was probably about 91 or 92, the dementia started setting in, and it's sad to see it. But at the same time, I gained a level of understanding from it, because I'm literally looking at a percentage of my genetics and how my grandmother aged and kind of descended into dementia and then ultimately passed away from natural causes because she's almost 96 years old. The concern was at the time, because she lived by herself in Mississippi, in the house that my uncle, my two aunts, and my mother were born and raised in. And she lived very much by herself. My maternal grandfather died in 1978, so my grandmother lived alone. But she took very good care of herself. She stayed busy. She had hobbies. She would go to the local hospital and visit the sick people and bring them food. She had a bountiful garden that kept her very busy. She was very active. Well, in her 80s, she started to develop some age-related health problems. And of course, my mother, the oldest daughter, my two aunts were very concerned about her, that she wasn't going to take her medication because I think she was exhibiting some signs of forgetfulness, and they're very concerned. And they agreed that she shouldn't live alone anymore in Itala County, Mississippi. Kosciuszko, more specifically, Salis. They were concerned that she shouldn't be living alone all the way down there. Now, I do have an aunt and a portion of my family that lives in Memphis, which is about 150-ish miles north of where my grandmother lives. So in the event that somebody needed to go see her or check on her, we had family members, I don't know, 3.5 hours away, give or take. But my mother and my aunts decided, well, she can't live by herself anymore. I'll never forget this. And it gave me a whole nother perspective on aging. Also, I should know, my grandmother and I were very, very close. She's the only human being on earth that I saw discipline my mother adequately. I used to do stuff and get in trouble, as you could imagine, but when my grandmother was staying with us, because she would come stay with us for the whole summer. And who knows what I did. And my mother would be trying to discipline me, and my grandmother would look at my mother and say, leave him alone. And my mother would stop. So, of course, I had a lot of respect for Big Mama. So I loved her so much. I really did. She saw things in me that no other members of our family saw in me. And maybe there's somebody that I reminded her of, maybe one of her uncles or maybe her father or maybe some of our ancestors that I never met, my mother's generation never met. There was something that she saw in me that I didn't see in myself until I was much older. So she and I had this very special bond. So let me tell you what happened, and I'll never forget this. My mother and my aunts determined that my grandmother, who at the time was probably in her late 80s and still in very good health, she still moved around great. She was totally mobile. She walked unassisted. She had a beautiful garden. She had hobbies. She kept herself busy. I understand the concern, especially for a parent, when they're that old and living by themselves. I get it. And so here's what they told her. So she didn't fly. She didn't take airplanes. So when she came to visit, she would either take a train or someone would drive down to Mississippi, pick her up, and then drive her back. She would never come to Wisconsin in the winter. Why? Because she was a smart woman. Who wants to be here in the wintertime? I don't want to be here in the wintertime, but I have to be here in the wintertime because this is where my house is. Oh, it's a curse. So I remember they told her, they said, hey, Mama, why don't you come up here for the summer? She said, no, I can't come for the summer. Okay, well, Mama, come up for a couple of weeks. She said, okay, I'll come up for a couple of weeks. And I believe, because we always have relatives that are going back and forth between Mississippi and Milwaukee, so it's not difficult to catch a ride, but I'm not sure how she got to Milwaukee. I think my mother and my aunt may have gone to get her, actually. And they're like, well, pack up a bunch of stuff. She's like, I don't need to pack up all this stuff. I'm only going to be up north for a couple of weeks. Like, well, no, maybe you should bring some more things. You never know what could happen. And so she's like, all right. And so they brought her up here. I think she was here for probably a week or so. Because I used to come and visit her when my parents were at work. I come hang out with her. And here's what they actually had planned but did not tell her. They were not going to drive her back down to Mississippi because they were concerned about her living by herself, maybe slipping and falling or forgetting to take her medication. They weren't going to take her home. Now, they didn't tell her this because had they told her that, she never would have got in the vehicle to drive up to Milwaukee, knowing she was never going to return home. Now, I wasn't there when it happened, and I'm glad I wasn't. But I was told that my grandmother, when she was told that they were not taking her back home, like that was it. She's not going back home. They're going to send somebody down to go get the rest of her affects and her belongings. So she cried like a baby. How dare they do that to her, the woman that raised them? How dare you take her away from her home because y'all have concerns about her age? I was offended that they would make my grandmother cry and they would just take her independence like it was up to them. They snatched it from her. It's the only thing she had left, and they took it. So I remember going to visit her during the day. My parents weren't retired yet. They were still working, and I went by to see my grandmother per usual. And I noticed she had a whole bunch of bags packed. I said, Big Mama, what you doing? She said, I'm going back home. I said, how you going back home? What you talking about? She's like, one of our cousins is actually going back down to Mississippi, and I'm going to catch a ride with him. I said, well, Big Mama, do my aunts and my mother know that you're going back home? She said, absolutely not. When your mother gets home from work, she will see that I am gone. She said, Sherwin, you going to keep my secret? I said, till the day I die. Sure enough, mother gets home from work, panics, saw that her 80-something-year-old mother was gone and all her bags were packed, and then called me, Sherwin, where Big Mom at? I don't know. Probably Cairo, Illinois by now. I was just so incredibly offended that people can just take the independence from someone else. And this is a very tough line to walk when you care about a loved one, but you see that they're getting up there in age. What authority do we have to tell them to stop their lives as they know it and essentially begin the process of dying? And so when I saw Mitch McConnell freeze up, it instantly reminded me of some of the last days of my grandmother because she had a very particular kind of dementia. So the thing that happened with Mitch McConnell, I do not know what it's called, but it's a very specific kind of medical condition. So in Mitch McConnell's mind, he was in his head, he was like, wait a minute, I know the words, I know what I want to say, but his mouth wouldn't work. So in his mind, he actually was continuing the press conference, but the words could not come out. It's got to be a very, very frightening thing. But I want you to know, if we are even lucky to be that old, that is going to be us. Not to mention if you live to be, especially if you're black, you live to be in your 80s, God willing, even into your 90s. Your kids aren't going to be around like they used to be. All your friends are probably dead. It's just you. It's just you and whatever your hobbies are. It's just you and whatever independence you have left. And to think that we have the authority to take that from somebody else is just, it defies human dignity. And it's terribly upsetting. And to hear a bunch of people, maybe middle-aged, maybe a little bit younger, talking about all these old people that are all over the place. I don't like when we don't cherish the wisdom that you get through chronological age. We are very disrespectful to our elderly. There are lessons that we can learn from them, but we are so quick to dismiss them. That's one of the problems that we have in our community. We don't learn about history. We don't value the experiences that people who are decades and generations older than us can tell us. See, we seem to think everything under the sun is new. Nothing under the sun is new. And I think the internet has made people gone all crazy because there used to be a time. In fact, the overwhelming majority of human history, there was no internet. There weren't weird offshoots of cultish people that have very unusual beliefs. You couldn't just coalesce around a group of people that were crazy and insane like you were. You had to participate in public life. And the internet has allowed people to kind of shrink in these weird dark corners. No matter what you think, no matter what your beliefs are, there's a whole social group out there for you to join. And then you'll think that your beliefs and your thoughts are normal. They're not. Normal is long, long gone. We need to return to some traditional values, including having more sympathy and empathy for people that are elderly, because if we are lucky, that is going to be us. And are you going to want somebody telling you, yeah, you need to stop going to work. You need to stop doing your job. And it's not even like we're kind about it. We're just like, yeah, you need to quit. Just go away. Because you're literally telling somebody, go sit in the corner until you die. And I simply cannot do that. even if somebody is staying past their prime. You're listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Do you need a way to uplift your fellow woman? Have you ever wished you could do more to serve your community, but just don't have the time? You can do this and more by helping Good Karma Brands support Women Build through Habitat for Humanity. And all you have to do is donate. Women Build helps support teaching women and volunteers to learn skills in building and repairing homes. Make sure to make a donation to Women Build at MilwaukeeHabitat.org. Again, that's MilwaukeeHabitat.org. And be sure to follow along on 1017 The Truth's social media as we build a home in a lovely Harami neighborhood this Friday.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 101.7 The Truth. Here is Denise Thomas with her truth.
Over the past 2 years, I've been very intentional about self-care, including clinical therapy. And one of the many lessons that I've learned includes the biggest one that I've applied, and that is letting go. Oftentimes, we feel as though that we have to hold on to certain relationships, whether it's professional or personal, because we feel a sense of obligation. However, within that relationship, you're always feeling as though it's difficult to love you. You're a bad person. You're not good. Combined with what we're hearing and reading on social media and other news platforms. I want to remind you, as I've learned and gained through therapy, that in any relationship that you're in, it should be elevating your happiness. It should be elevating your joy. It should be providing you prosperity and peace. Don't get me wrong. In any relationship, there's misunderstandings, there's miscommunications, and that's where, as human beings, we allow the relationship to be bigger than that particular incident and say, you know what? When you said this or when you did this, it made me feel this. I may be totally misinterpreting it, but I just wanted you to understand how it made me feel. And in those situations where the continuous behavior makes you feel as though, again, that you're bad or that you're not good, or it's just always exhausting to be in that relationship, let it go. And you can release with love. You can let that person know we're no longer compatible. This does not feel good. I release you, and I release you with love. Let everything that is not bringing you value go so you can be around people, places, and things that bring out the best in you. You deserve it.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Our phone number is 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. It was an excruciating moment of powerlessness for one of Washington's most powerful men. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell's words dried up and he froze, standing silent and staring straight ahead for around 30 painful seconds in the middle of a press conference yesterday, the second time he had endured such an uncomfortable on-camera ordeal since July. It is not clear whether it has happened more times away from the public's gaze, but for a proud senator who has dominated the chamber for many years, the momentary loss of lucidity is embarrassing at the very least and could become an increasing political problem. I think our first instinct is when we see older people. And I also think we don't want to see old people because we know that's going to be us. And we don't want to deal with the reality of aging because old people, they're not respected. They get in the way, right? And if you're one of those people that subscribes to traditional standards of beauty, old ain't pretty no more, Wrinkles ain't pretty no more. Crow's feet ain't pretty no more. Laugh lines ain't pretty no more. How do I know? Why do I think this? I know women in their 20s getting Botox. You can't fight it. You can't fight it. You might as well embrace it and love everything that comes with your age. Because I know my generation ain't going to want to retire. We're stubborn enough as it is. I know we ain't going to go nowhere. But have y'all noticed something? There's these like these pictures they'll do. These, like, I don't know if you call them before and afters, but they'll show somebody who is, I'll take my age as an example, 48. I'm 48 years old in the year 2023. And then they'll show somebody who was 48 years old in the year 1973. And they look 60 years old, don't they? Or even somebody who is 32. You're 32 years old in the year 2023. And they show somebody who's 32 in the year 1984. They got a bad haircut, wearing some old polyester pants and a sweater vest. They look like old people. We are actually aging better. We are much more productive as we get older. I'll tell you something right now. It's some 50-year-old women that are hot to trot. Not when my mama and them was 50. They look 50. They look like, oh, you need to sit down somewhere, ma'am. As time goes on, we actually are more productive and we're healthier too as we age. We're seeing that with every successive generation. And so my generation, because we're going to have more medicine, we're going to have more cures, we're going to know more about human biology. We're going to have, I believe, more quality years, and each younger generation is going to have more quality years. So we're going to be around longer. And so we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss people that are 80 years old and just think that they're washed up, because the answer is not young people, especially in politics. It's not. It isn't. How many of y'all want your children controlling your lives? No, I'm being honest now. Telling you where you can go, where you can't go, making up all the rules, taking money out your paycheck. No, your children. How would you feel if your children were controlling your life? You would hate it. But yet, for some reason, we think the answer is a bunch of young, inexperienced leaders. Youth is wasted on the young, especially in a blood sport like politics. You need life experience. There's no substitute for it. There's no amount of education you can get for life experience. Go find a 25-year-old with, I don't know, a bachelor's degree. Throw in a master's degree. Maybe they're even working on their PhD, so they're taking doctoral classes. Throw in a couple of certificates, and let's say it's in, I don't know, electrical engineering. They got all these degrees. They're young, right? 25 years old. They got a bachelor's degree. They got a master's degree. They're working on their PhD, and they got a whole bunch of certificates. So all classroom stuff. And you have that electrical engineer with all those degrees. They got a bachelor's degree. They got a master's degree. They're working on their PhD, and they got a couple of certificates. And then talk to somebody who's been an electrical engineer for 50 years. There is zero comparison. And I will go with the electrical engineer who's been doing the work and creating projects and inventing things for 50 years over the one that doesn't know their behind from a hole in the ground. There is something precious and priceless about experience, and I'm starting to see that as I get older. Now, the world is changing. I suppose the internet has made us a lot smarter. No, it doesn't. It makes you the 25-year-old that reads a bunch of stuff, but you have never had the life experience to put it into practice. And I didn't know that till I got older. Oh, when I was 24 or 25, you couldn't tell me nothing. I knew all the things. Shut up, old person. You don't know. And sometimes they wouldn't even engage. Like, oh, you're so cute. Now I understand how we are so easy to dismiss when we are young. And if we think that young leadership is the way to go, we are in for a rude awakening. I can tell you how the city of Milwaukee has been screwed by this young mayor and will continue to be screwed Now, here's the other thing. We didn't exactly have a plethora of wonderful choices in the last mayoral contest. But this just goes to show you there's a level of inexperience in youth that the youth don't know. Because to them, they've lived a lot of life. They've seen a lot of things in their 30 years or 35 years. But compare them to somebody who's 70, who has lived their entire lifetime already. We'll take a break, come back, read some of your text messages at 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. There's value in wisdom, but then the other part is, how do you tell somebody that it's time for them to go, especially if they're doing something that they love? Because that will be us. I need y'all to know that. And it's interesting because now my mother is getting dangerously close to the age in which she wanted to take her mother's independence. And I told my mother, I ain't going to do that to you. I'm not going to do to you what you did to your mother. If you need some help, you need some assisted living, you need somebody to come here and take care of you so you don't forget to take your medications when you get old. But I'm not just going to snatch you from your home and make you come live with me. I ain't going to do that. You got to have some understanding and respect for the dignity of being a human being. You don't just take somebody's independence because you decide that they're too old to live. We don't do that. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in this Friday night as the Hilltoppers travel to take on the Germantown Warhawks. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Liberty Engineering, and Marquette University High School.
The postseason push is on! Be here as the Brewers battle the Phillies Friday, September 1st through Sunday, September 3rd. Show your school pride at College Theme Night on September 1st, presented by GE Healthcare. Plus, get set for September baseball with the Brewers Fleece Vest giveaway on Saturday the 2nd, presented by Hupie and Abraham. Get your seats today at brewers.com/promotions.
Why? Why take a chance? Why risk a mistake? Why say something? We all have reasons why we choose to ignore the things that give us pause, that seem out of place, that don't feel right. The word why can either paralyze us or empower us to stand up and protect what we love. So if you see something, why do you say something?
I see safe for my family.
I see safe for my friends.
I see say for my students. We see say for each other.
I see say because all of this matters.
We all have something worth protecting, a why that unifies this community we're all a part of. So protect your everyday. Report suspicious activity to local authorities. If you see something, say something.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Identify meetup locations and people you'll need to contact. Put your contact list in your wallet, on your phone, and somewhere visible in your home. Build a kit. Store enough food and water for 3 days. Don't forget your pets. And consider buying a pre-made kit. Keep at least 7 days of medication on hand. Work with your pharmacist and insurance company to secure the extra doses. Make copies of important documents. Keep them on your phone, in the cloud, or on a USB stick. Stay informed. Learn about local hazards. Take courses in CPR and first aid. And sign up for local alert systems. An early warning can give you the time you need to prepare for a fast-moving disaster. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/sendusin.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
talking about aging and I guess how old is too old. So you got to keep this in mind. Some of y'all, if you're lucky, you're going to be old too. And how will you feel if someone who is much, much younger than you has just made a judgment and an assessment on your skills and abilities and just literally tells you to go somewhere and sit down? Yeah, you need to quit. You need to retire. You're just too old. How would you take that? Because it's going to be us. Might be your kids, might be people in our vocational fields. I think about that. There may be a point where I am too old to do this, where I no longer have my mental faculties. Some of you will say I don't have my mental faculties now, but that's my decision to make. Or if the audience says, hey, Sherwin, we're not going to listen to your old ass no more, get off the air. But to have a young upstart say, you need to get out of the way and move over and make way for me. Fair enough, but prove you have earned the position. You can't just replace old people with young people. That's how the world gets screwed up. You got to demonstrate that you can handle the baton, the torch that is being passed to you. And I don't know if we're ready for that. I think that's why there's so much resistance to just our older citizens just stepping out of the way and passing the baton, because we don't know if they're going to be able to hold the baton. And maybe that's our fault, right? Maybe we should be doing more to train the next generation. But the next generation, they think they know everything. Can't tell them anything. Can't tell them nothing. They got the internet. They have Twitter or whatever Twitter is now. I can't tell them anything. I suppose I was different because I love sitting at the feet of my elders and listening to the days of yore. I loved hearing about how things were. A world that I can't imagine, a world that I don't even know existed long before I was born. I think that's another thing. Like, I talked to my brother who was born in 1989. He's like unaware of the world that existed before he was born. And if you're born in 1989, and I love my brother to death now, but that you were born too late to enjoy all the good stuff, like real actual life with real human beings and real interaction where people had social skills. Why? Because you had to have them. It don't take nothing to be disrespectful and to talk mess about somebody on a keyboard typing with your thumbs. We've lost a lot of social skills, and the world is still going to require it. And so you can't just expect people to just, step aside and pass the baton to someone who doesn't have any real old school social skills. The other thing is this. I think you got too many parents that are trying to buy their children all of the things that they never were bought, instead of teaching their children all the things that they never learned. One is dramatically more important than the other, and one leads to much different results. Do you buy your kids a bunch of stuff because this is stuff that you wanted and wish you had, but your parents couldn't afford it or you couldn't afford it? Or are you giving your children wisdom? Are you telling your children things that you learned at 40? You can tell your kids that when they're 10. And think about how much more prepared they will be for the rigors of the real world. Let's talk to Linda. How are you this morning?
Yeah. Good morning, Sherwin, Rhea, Truth Nation, beautiful people of Milwaukee. I thought it was a good time to chime in on this subject.
Linda, you're just too old. You need to retire and go sit down somewhere. You need to just go away.
Shut up. Anyway, I'm just getting started. I'm at my prime. If you was to think about it, biblically, we were originally given 120 years to live, and because of all of the evil man does to mankind, so that's why we are where we are. But this is a really great topic because, it's just something we don't tap into a lot. But as my parents were leaving here, I touched on all of that as far as, the insurance, the hesitation to have insurance, on your parents, and to establish insurance for generational wealth for your children. I mean, the slave mentality is just really real. I went through, the dementia with my mom and just doing the research to see, if this hereditary or is this diabetic, and just going on that path of learning healing and self-help, generational curses, generational, hereditary issues, things of that nature. I mean, really, my brother died from colon cancer. I, did the research in that with men, especially black men, and testicular cancer. Just the black, the blood pressure amongst black people, and how, all of this that it has to do with lifestyle and inappropriate medication, and then it boils down to what you eating. Like you said, your grandmother, boy, you had me cracking up. I'm telling you, because you're right. She should have some dignity to her own decisions to her life. And now that I'm, there, it's like, that's why I'm like, so health is my wealth right now, because it does guarantee a longer quality living. And I like to say everybody gets to celebrate my birthday, Labor Day. And I'm starting tonight.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to hit every spot, because that's when I really go out on my birthday. So I want to tap into JD Poet Lounge. I want to hit you up, and I want to hit up Prentice McKinney at Savoy's, because he was the first man that gave me a job with CYD at 13. Bunch of girls walking down the street from Wells Junior High, and he just popped out and said, "Y'all want a job?" And that took me on to the trajectory I'm at now. And I also want to stop by anywhere and everywhere, because I'm getting lit. I'm going to F up tonight.
Oh, slow down. Wait a minute, Linda. Slow down now. First of all, happy birthday. But you ain't got to get lit. You ain't got to hit up everything now. Just pick a couple of spots and don't overdo it now.
It's like me coming out, because I'm at the top of my game. I'm shining. I'm winning. And I defeat all those enemies throughout the years that tried to hold me down, beat me down, and kill me. Hello?
Okay. We ain't going to take it away from you. Miss Rose turned 85 the other day.
It's a statement, because I'm the matriarch of my parents' family, and I got a lot to do as far as expand, increase, and carry on that legacy. I have 3 sons and a nephew that's going to take on that name, and I have to get them ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a forward-thinking person. I'm a new person, a better person, and living in my purpose. And I'm happy about it. And I don't understand why people think that a happy person is a naive person. That don't mean I'm naive. I grew up in the ghetto, too. It's just that I realized who I am and what I am and what I'm about. And that's really great, because it's authentic. And a lot of people walking around here with masks. And you got to go within and find your authenticity. And I tell you, you'll be high every day.
High every day. Well, these are wonderful words of wisdom, Miss Shack. It's a personal question, I know, but you have so much life, so much vitality. You're so vivacious. Is it a personal question if I ask you how old you're going to be? You ain't got to answer it, but I think that you would serve as a tremendous inspiration, because a lot of folks think you're probably 10 or 15 years younger than you actually are. I mean, I know how old you is, but they don't know how old you is.
You don't know how old I am.
Yes, I do. I mean, I ain't going to tell it. Yeah, I know how old you are. Why would you hide that, Miss Shack? Why would you want to keep that a secret?
You know what? This is a great topic again. I'm not hiding it, Sherwin, because age is a concept. Really? Isn't it? Because your age at 48 is different from another person, someone that's hasn't been experienced as you. Okay. So it's different. It's the level of experience that reveals your age. But I'll be 63 on Labor Day.
Wow, Miss Shack, that you don't look it. I know you hear that all the time. That's why you're always chasing these young men, because you look their age.
I don't chase, baby. I don't chase.
Of course, right? You don't chase, of course. All right, well, have a happy birthday. Please be safe, Miss Shack. Don't be out there acting a fool now. Seriously.
Just tell, what's his name, JD, the poet, let me know where he at this weekend.
All right, JD, if you're listening.
I want to check him out, but I don't really want the the erotic poetry, I want something, more on the easy to the ear.
Okay, even though the erotic poetry is right up your alley. Okay, JD, if you're listening, go find Miss Shaq. Maybe we'll have JD perform a poem just for you and your birthday. Maybe we'll do that.
Well, you know what? The outfit I'm wearing, I'm telling you, that might just go right.
What's the outfit? What you wearing?
That jumpsuit Beyonce got with the handprints all over.
Whoa! Wait a minute, Linda! Linda! Oh, no, you not.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, you have fun with your handprint jumpsuit.
And I got a silver outfit because her birthday is September 4th too. So she asked all her fans to dress up in silver, so I got a silver outfit too.
I'm sure you'll take a lot of pictures, and we'll expect to see those on Tuesday. So send us the pictures from your birthday weekend next week, please.
All right, honey.
All right, Miss Shaq, you have a good birthday. Yikes. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud new home of Marquette University High School football. Be sure to tune in to Marquette Hilltoppers football every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Leff's Lucky Town, Liberty Engineering, and Marquette University High School.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their Community Uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a Community Uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Fred, why choose Erie Insurance?
The passion that we put around your personal development and your growth. We pay for you to go to college.
Wait. What?
Yes, we will help pay for you to go to college. So you get your foot in the door with us, we will help advance your career.
Okay.
We will help you get the designations, like I mentioned. It's even easier now. I'm doing it from the outset with our diverse communities to help them get these designations and licenses before you even show up inside the doors of Erie Insurance.
Visit erieinsurance.com for more information.
LabCorp has a variety of open trials now that will fit your schedule. If you're working remote, you can continue to make money at your job while participating in these trials and earn extra cash while advancing medicine. Right now, they have studies for healthy adults ages 18 to 60, body mass index between 18 and 32, with a study that involves 2 stays, totaling 15 nights and 7 follow-up visits. Compensation up to $13,820 may be provided for time and participation. Receive up to $300 per qualified participant. They also have a trial where they are looking for healthy men ages 18 to 60, body mass index between 18 and 32, and that study involves 1 stay of 15 nights and 1 possible follow-up overnight visit and 1 phone call. Compensation up to $7,653 to $8,469 may be provided for time and participation. Receive up to $200 per qualified participant.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Got a couple of phone calls. We're going to take those in a second. What do we got here? Denise says, Sherwin, you are so on point. Thank you. You get it? You got to have more respect for old people. Seriously. 414-688 says, good morning, Sherwin. My mother is 81 years old. She is well taken care of, lives with one of my sisters. We honor her and take care of her like she did us when we could not take care of ourselves. That's what we are forgetting. Somebody took care of us. We have a fiduciary obligation to take care of those people. Instead, we just throw them away like they don't matter anymore. I don't like how society wants to throw away the elderly. Mitch is an a-hole, but I don't want to see anyone like that. He should sit down. And again, that's up to the voters in the state of Kentucky. I know we want to pass judgment up here in Wisconsin about what they do and the elected leaders they have in other places. We don't even really, most of y'all don't even play a major role in electing the people we have here in Wisconsin. I find it rich for some of us, not you 414-688, but I hear that all the time. Oh, so-and-so in California need to step down. Oh, so-and-so in Washington State, they need to retire. Like, what are we doing here to make sure that we have the best leadership possible? Let's talk to, speak of the devil and he shall appear, the official poet laureate of 1017 The Truth, Mr. J.D. Masters. Miss Shaq was talking about you, J.D.
It was ironic she did because it's erotic poetry all weekend, and she said she's going to Savoy's. We at Savoy's tonight. They invited us to come down. Erotic poetry after dark is growing, and it's becoming a real thing. We've been doing birthday parties, and we got some stuff coming up in Northern Illinois. They booking us for shows. It's a real live deal, Miss Linda. You come on out and see us. You could be my invited guest. And then this weekend, we're at the Gallery in West Dallas. So it's all weekend, a weekend of nastiness, and you're nasty.
She is.
And Al can come too. Al's nasty too. Al, what's your nasty name? And all of you guys come. The rest of Truth Nation is nasty because they got a bunch of kids. Their kids is the kid boys. That's their grandkids.
That's true.
They nasty. It's true. Truth Nation is gross. So come on out and enjoy your nastiness, because if it's not for nastiness, you wouldn't be alive. We all here because somebody decided to get freaky in the back of a Buick. So I don't understand why everybody is so appalled at it now because they go to church and they done got off drugs. Stop it. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't have said it better myself, JD.
You know what? I didn't want to bother everybody 3 days in a row, so I'm gonna read the Labor Day poem since we're talking about work and being old, and then I'm done for the rest of the week. I got my plugs in, and I love Truth Nation, but I don't like to take up a lot of your time, so I'm gonna get it out the way. Is that fine, Sherwin?
Yes. Can you do it in 3 minutes? 2 minutes? 3 minutes? 4 minutes?
Yeah, it's going to be shorter than that. It's called Labor Day.
All right, go ahead.
Poor people work down to the bone, cheated out of pensions, tricked out of homes. Is the middle class the economic engine? It's sad because they can't pay off tuition. Stuck in a dead end, kids are latchkey, payday loans killing you. Labor Day is all week. The way to resurgence of marginalized employees is poor people co-ops build our own factories. Pay ourselves fair wages, why look to boss? Working at a modern plantation while they go and golf. Let's take these factories that moved away, turn them into incubators and promote ghetto pay. Either we do for self or it's stay in chains. Impose mandatory poverty as the 3,200 billionaires reign. And that's that piece. Happy Labor Day, y'all.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right. That was JD the Poet. He'll be at Savoy's tonight. And then, I forgot the place in West Dallas, the Gallery or something. All right, Bob, what you got to say about old people?
Man, I can't believe you, Sherwin. You know, I can tell you got a little gift. You know, when you get Joe Biden's age, people gonna be saying, no, we want to hear Sherman's analysis. And Sherman, you're gonna be saying, well, I can't. You're gonna be very slow, but we're gonna want to hear your analysis. We're not gonna never throw you out, Sherman. And the thing that I say is, you know, I tell my kids, my body may be a little messed up, but my mind is not. You better watch yourself. Carrie, Rhea, and Miss Ricks make me wish I was young. And then it comes to me.
Why, Bob? Why do they make you wish you were young?
They're very lovely young ladies. And then it comes to me, Bob, you had your day. Now you just settle down, calm down, and be content. And I just be content. And I blow my sax or watch me a little movie on TV or, you know, go out. And JD's poet I mean, y'all mentioned JD, and he just said a poet. But his last poem was really something about money. It is very interesting. He's, and keep in touch with Dion. Dion, I like him because he tells like it is. He don't care. If he don't vote, he don't vote. But he tells you just like it is. So other than that, my last point is, Carrie, Rhea, and Miss Ricks make me wish I was young. But
Bob, you're not young again. Don't be an old pervert now. Go find you a good 70-something-year-old woman. There's some very decent and very attractive, vivacious 70-something-year-old women. Go get you a woman your age, Bob. Stop messing with these young girls. These young girls give you a heart attack.
Well, I'll take your advice. All right, Sherwin. You take care.
You too. Good grief, Bob. Oh, I wish I was younger. They still ain't gonna want you, Bob. Go find you a woman your age. And plus, there's something about being involved with somebody that's your own age. There's more to talk about. You got more things in common. You may have similar perspectives on things. All right, guys. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 FM. Make sure you download The Truth app. You can stream this program and all the programs across our lineup. Follow us on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. I'll be right back.
August is Black Business Month, and the award-winning 101.7 The Truth is teaming up with Associated Bank to celebrate the greatness of Black businesses in our community. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. This is why I will be spotlighting 4 Black businesses in Milwaukee. Follow 101.7 The Truth on social media and YouTube so you can hear the incredible stories of these Black businesses. And make sure y'all buy Black all month long. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC.
Tap into Milwaukee's most entertaining morning show.
Hey, good morning. Y'all should change this station to the Butt Naked Truth. That was the Butt Naked Truth. Miss DT,
oh my God,
I'm
love that.
I'm so scared of you. I mean, it's like, you sweet, but when somebody rub you the wrong way, you better look out.
Listen to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Dear hero, whoever you are, thank you for donating plasma. My body literally gave up on me. Receiving plasma treatments was, to me, hope. Now that I'm out of the wheelchair, I love going on walks, swimming. Those were some of the things I was told that I would never be able to do.
I'd have swells all up and down my arms or my legs, my hands. I could have an airway swell, and that's life-threatening. I haven't had any attacks in about 3 months since trying it. It's crazy because it was daily that I'd have these, and it's just gone.
Because of you, I can walk again.
Because of you, I feel amazing.
Giving equals living. Give plasma. Replenish the supply. Make an appointment to give today by visiting hhs.gov/giveplasma. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Boozilla, baby.
Welcome to Hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'm going to read your text messages at 833-212-1017, 833-212-1017. Al says, that is one of the major issues with us black folk. We do not respect our elders, nor do we take care of them like other nationalities do, i.e., Hispanics, Asians, Indians, and so on. I hope it varies. I hope that culturally as black folks, we don't respect those who have more chronological age than us. Within their life experience contains wisdom you can only get with life experience. So I hope that we collectively have a respect for the elders. I know we always speak very highly of our ancestors. I know we want their reparations money. I know that much. We definitely want that. We want the money that they earned, that they worked for, that they literally slaved for. But I'm wondering how we're treating those that are soon to be our ancestors that are alive right now. And then Al says, can you explain what was the end result of your grandmother again, please? So as her health did start to fade in her early and getting into her mid-90s, she would stay with my aunt who lives in Milwaukee for 6 months. Then she would stay with my mother, my parents, at the house I grew up in for 6 months. And they would take turns. The sisters would take turns. And then she would stay with my Aunt Linda, who lives in Memphis, Tennessee for 6 months. So the last stint of my grandmother's life, the last 6 months or so, she was staying in Memphis. And here's something else that I noticed. The burden of taking care of an aging parent. I got to witness that firsthand, and my parents were still working. My brother who was an adult, but he was still young, so they still had to watch out for him, but then also taking care of an aging parent is very, very stressful. So ultimately, it became too much because she needed too much care because her memory was starting to fade and the dementia was becoming much more pronounced. So they put her in a facility, but it was in Memphis. So my aunt lived literally a couple blocks away, so she'd go see her every day. But I remember when we went to go visit her, and she was on like the last leg of her health, and she was sitting there in a wheelchair. And this is not the woman that I remembered growing up, who had this outrageous laugh, this incredible sense of humor, who was always active and so full of life. And she's sitting there in this wheelchair, and I didn't know that woman anymore. That is not the woman that I remember seeing growing up. And I said, Big Mama, because her birthday was coming up, you see. She unfortunately passed, but just before her 96th birthday. I said, Big Mama, what you want for your birthday? Because here I am being optimistic, hoping she would make it to C96. And what she said to me sticks with me to this day. She said, I want my health. Even at 95, almost 96 years old, she wasn't ready to go. Some people have just given up on life. They're done with it. They've seen all they need to see. They're ready to go on to the next chapter and go to heaven or go meet relatives that have passed away, I suppose. She still wanted to live, which then harkens me back to 10 years prior to when my mother and my aunts wanted to take her freedom from her. I learned very valuable lessons. Very valuable lessons. Let's talk to Al. You're on the new 1017 The Truth. How are you?
I'm doing good. First thing I want to say, I think it should be an age limit when it comes to people in the position of power. That's not throwing them away, but they didn't serve their time. Give them their last and best years to relinquish that power because the world evolved and it's time for new and fresh ideas. Prime example, Al Sharpton. Okay? You can march all you want. Your perm, your white glove has not changed the laws that was written by slave owners, and things are going to still happen. New, fresh ideas, I think, is always good. It helps the world grow, especially with diversity, and from diversity comes wisdom of life. Because you got a lot of people who I'm not going to call them old, I'm going to say seasoned, who are dumb as hell. So I think it's good to have an age cap, because when a person gets in a certain age, You have to be their eyes. You have to be their fight. But what I want to share, it really pisses me the hell off when I see a lot of these parents that go and have health issues. Their kids ain't nowhere around, and they got the audacity to sit they no good, worthless, useless black ass up in the church, praying to that Lord, and you know your parents need you, and you ain't never there. But when you get in a moment of hell, that phone is jumping off the hook like Sodom and Gomorrah. And some of you only come around when you want them to watch them crumb-snatching ass children you got. But at any other time, you don't got no love for them. So I want you people to understand this, and if the shoe fit, wear it. I don't care how much you walk. I don't care how much you talk. I don't care how much Sunday you sit in the church. That Lord, your Savior, whoever he is, knows you are not sugar, honey, iced tea. And you are a worthless, useless matter of convenience, no good bastard. And may everything you touch rot and go to hell. Because your parent could have aborted you. They could have left your worthless ass on the street. But they didn't do that. But because you feel you don't want to be bothered, you don't want to come around. But then when they take their last breath, you want to clean their house out and run through their money. And when they go up through their financial struggles, you want to brag about it. You ain't good for sugar, honey, iced tea. And I am speaking from my heart. You are a bastard. You are a maggot. You are a peasant. You are a worthless, useless teaspoon of cum. That she shut up on it. Hello? Okay, now getting back to my point.
Getting back, that was your point, man. You made a point, Al. That you said a lot.
But what I was going to say when it comes to these politicians.
Oh, back to the politicians, of course.
When it comes to these people, 65 should be a cutoff. Can't nobody in their 60s thinks for nobody that's 18, 19, or in their 30s. Keep in mind, some of those people used to own slaves. They still got that slave mentality, that slave thinking. The world evolves. You have diversity, and from diversity comes wisdom and growth, because from each personality, you learn something. That's why we are in the turmoil now. You got Donald Trump. He thinks like a racist bastard. You got all these people with these conservative views are hypocrites. That's why we in turmoil now. From the laws to all the restrictions that's put on, they was written by old racist pigs. So we have to start from scratch from everything. But 65 should be the cutoff, because ain't nobody
the cutoff for
years old who.
For elected officials or just for everybody? Like everybody needs to be done with life at 65?
No. If you are in a position of power, whether you are a Democrat or you are a Republican, and you're up here in world's eye making decisions for the world, the cutoff should be 65. You're 81. You're already fighting death. Let your family fight for your health so you can enjoy the last and best years.
Okay.
You're trying to take on stuff when you're just trying to get through the day. That's not right. The cutoff should be 65 so they can enjoy their life too, because you got some people who in that position, they're old, they're miserable, so they want to make everybody else, just like the man in Texas. He don't even got no legs, and he can't even wipe his own ass, but he want construction workers to suffer. There should be a cutoff date.
All right.
I'm going to leave it at that. Have a great weekend, everybody, and happy birthday, Linda. All right, make sure you do it up real good. And don't look back. And we'll take a break and go back and get some more. Have a good day, everybody.
Oh, okay. That sounded real personal. Like that sounded like it was from his life story. All right, so Hillary Clinton is 76. With Al's math, every politician should be done at 65. So when she ran for president in 2016, okay, that was 7 years ago. So she was 69 years old when she ran for president. So was Hillary Clinton too old? I think that we're getting into dangerous territory when we are arbitrarily setting age limits and age cutoffs for people, because some people have more mental faculties at 65 than some people have at 35. The other thing is this, and I understand that when people get older, maybe they're a little bit out of touch and maybe they should step aside. But when we're talking about elected office, the voters put the term limits in. If you don't want, like, y'all make it seem like people just automatically go back into public office. They have to get voted in. And here's what the issue is. If young people actually wanted young leaders, they'd vote. The largest generation in America right now, population-wise, is millennials. And if they actually wanted people in their age group or even younger to win public office, they would vote for them. They don't vote. You know who does vote? Senior citizens. And who are they more likely to vote for? People in their own age group, because they can relate to them. They've seen many policy changes over the years, and maybe they trust the wisdom and the experience that older people have. Young people don't vote. Now, they're voting a little bit, but the millennial generation, so 1980 to 81 or 82 to 1997. It's the largest generation in America right now. They have the largest population. They could put their generation in just about every office known to man, but they don't. So they all make it seem like, just because somebody's old, they just need to step away. No, they keep getting voted in because people want them to run for re-election. Because as a legislator in particular, you get more experience and you have more political favors the longer that you have served in office. You can be much more effective as a legislator who's been there for 10 years as opposed to one who just got there and doesn't even know where the bathroom is. You listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 FM. I'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Do you need a way to uplift your fellow woman? Have you ever wished you could do more to serve your community, but just don't have the time? You can do this and more by helping Good Karma Brands support Women Build through Habitat for Humanity. And all you have to do is donate. Women Build helps support teaching women and volunteers to learn skills in building and repairing homes. Make sure to make a donation to Women Build at MilwaukeeHabitat.org. Again, that's MilwaukeeHabitat.org. And be sure to follow along on 1017 The Truth's social media as we build a home in a lovely Harambe neighborhood this Friday.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Want to save energy and money? With an energy-efficient home, you will use less and save more. We Energies has simple tips to help you reduce energy costs, like unplug fully charged cell phones to avoid wasted energy or clear furniture or rugs away from vents to improve airflow. Get a free online home energy assessment and learn more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com. We Energies. Simple, smart savings.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Williams, and I want to share with you the role that diabetes has had in my family. I lost my grandmother at the early age of 64 due to complications with diabetes. She was warm, generous, and a constant encouragement for me to follow my heart. Did you know that African Americans experience chronic kidney disease at a rate that's 25% higher than white Americans? And we're almost 4 times more likely to develop kidney failure. Diabetes and high blood pressure are leading causes of kidney disease, which can result in kidney failure, needing dialysis, or a kidney transplant. The good news is that you have the power to check out how well your kidneys are doing and learn ways to prevent them from failing. So go to your doctor and get yourself checked out. Visit linkmylovetv.org to learn more. Get the facts, get checked, and get healthy.
Hey gamers, are you seeking top-notch tech services? PWD Computers is your ultimate destination. Custom-built gaming PCs for a high-end gaming experience. From Windows to Apple, with years of experience, PWD Computers are here for you. Open Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let me tell you a little story about a heartbreaker.
Madison says, I got to disagree with you on this one, Sherwin. Dr. Ken said it best. You old and in your 80s, pass the baton to someone younger. So Dr. Ken said it. Dr. Ken ain't no spring chicken, so I just hope that he remembers that he said that. Sorry, Dr. Ken, you can't be a professor here at Concordia anymore because you're 80. Bye. You got to go, Dr. Ken. We got to make room for somebody younger. Forget the fact that you may have decades of experience. You've dealt with all sorts of students and all sorts of faculty changes, and you know how to respond to the different curriculum changes and the administration here at Concordia. You're a certain age. You just got to go. Goodbye. We're just going to have somebody younger. Y'all got to be very, very careful about how you talk about old people because if you're lucky, you will get old. And you might realize you're actually happier, maybe even healthier, and even more productive into your old age years than you are right now. Y'all gonna want somebody casting you aside? Madison says, not to mention the old people are to blame for the Earth's current condition, especially since we are blaming people for climate change. You can't just blame one generation did not do this to the Earth. And while we here in America, what are we, like 3% of the world's population? We need to be much more concerned about the wood and the coal and the fossil fuels that are being burned and will increase in being burned from billion-person countries, continents like Africa, China, and India. So you can't just put that on one generation. Now that we know more about how the climate works, it is incumbent upon all of us to do something. Like, that's not fair to just blame one generation for messing up the earth. Jay says, this is why I listen to your show on podcast so I can fast forward through your starting. Wait, is that your starting five? My starting 5 minutes? If they got a ton of playing time, I use the FF 30 second button frequently on the podcast. Oh, fast forward. I love your show. I learn tons. Just have to tune out when they're on the court. I don't know what that means, Jay, but okay, thank you. Brian says, Linda sounds like every female Virgo black woman. Genuine salute to her. JD the poet just sent his flyer. Muse 33 presents After Dark, an erotic poetry session. September 1st and September 2nd. $25 per person. 5916 West Burnham in West Dallas. LT says, there are on-the-job experiences and life experiences that no classroom can ever teach you. In all of my education, including 2 years of my PhD, nobody ever tells you about the jealous coworker stabbing you in the back or making up lies, the person who's stealing and blames it on you, gossip, etc. 414249 says, Sherwin, you should meet Miss Shack out for a drink. No. In fact, Linda's on the phone again. Hang on a second, Linda. You know what? Here's the thing with Al. I listen to him call other shows. He doesn't talk like that on other shows. Even when I said something to him about flying off the handle when he calls my show, for a while he was good. But I listened to him just this morning on DT and Telly's morning show, and he was very calm and very respectful. Like, what is it about me and my show? Like, that's, Al, I don't want to have this conversation with you again because, like, the complaints that I get when you go on those rants and some of the words you use are still very obscene, Al. I know you know how to use a normal, regular vocabulary. I know that. So please just, I'm trying to tell him, Dion, the non-voter, who is Al's number one fan, says, tell Bob I definitely appreciate the no lie, and I'm still listening every day faithfully. Thanks, Dion. 414982 says, they sent me a link, and then you say Sherwin is just one of many. That sounds like a trap. I'm not clicking that link. Two Black says, wisdom and life experience are great, but if you're losing your abilities to use or recall the aforementioned, it's time to bow out. Bye, Mitch, time to go. And again, that is up to the voters in Kentucky. Sir Chauncey says, damn, who pissed Al off? The church, apparently. 414275 says, Sherwin, I think she may have lived longer by someone coming in and living with her. That's what we did for my grandmother. Several grandchildren transferred because she was so good to the grandchildren, and they knew they could get away with some stuff that they couldn't get away with here. So that's what we did. And it cheats. My grandmother lived until she was 90-something. And she told the ones that stayed with her, she left them a lot. She left them a lot. Not just knowledge, but her, probably should be hidden treasures, which every one of them, I think, have at least 55 acres apiece. So I wasn't the fortunate one, because I probably would have went to the casino every day. But I still glad she got to stay on her property. On her property. Some people don't think like that. Every family can't just uproot themselves and go stay with an aging parent or grandparent. Everybody can't do that. Because you have somebody in your family that is getting old. You can't just leave your family, your responsibility, your job, your obligation, your mortgage, and just go live with somebody else. Some families can do that. Most people cannot. They still have things they got to take care of. They can't just stop their life to go live with somebody else. Let me see what Linda wants. Now, look here, Linda. You just called a minute ago now.
Yes, I did, Sherwin, and I just wanted to say to Al and just to, support what he's saying, because that is another issue that I experienced, Sherwin, and it took me 10 years. This is the 10th anniversary, and I have finally, overcome all of the things that Al was talking about as far as your family. You find out a lot of things when your parents and your grandparents die, and like I said, I went through a lot of persecution, and from people that I didn't even think it would come from. And then the way they treated my parents, these are grandchildren, children too. I was the only one that was there. I was working, going to school, and taking care of my two parents. Man. And that's when I started having high blood pressure. But, yes, what Al is saying is so true, and I feel it to the core of his soul, because it is true. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. I'm not taking away from the validity of what Al is saying. It's how he says it. That's the issue. He doesn't have to use that kind of language.
But sometimes it has to be said like that.
Not on the radio, Linda. Not on the air. You can't. This is a particular kind of medium in which we sometimes have to be on our best behavior, because there's a whole bunch of different people listening, and some people, they don't want to hear that stuff. There's other words we can use.
Yeah, I understand that.
All right.
That's true. We have to be fair. We have to be, fair.
Thank you, Linda. Have a happy birthday.
Bye-bye.
Good luck to you. All right, somebody texted. Hang on, right here. Miss Griffin called and said she is a friend of Miss Rose, and that Miss Rose has never gone to the doctor. I'm not encouraging anybody to not go to the doctor, ladies and gentlemen. We are discounting genetics. There's some people that they eat unhealthy, they smoke, they do all sorts of things that would shorten anybody else's life, and they live to be 99 years old and they die like in a car accident. Some people have genetics. Longevity is in your genetic code. Some people just live for a very long time and they don't have to take real good care of themselves. Some people die at 23. So I don't want people to say, oh, look, Miss Rose just turned 85 yesterday, the day before. She doesn't go to the doctor. No, go to the doctor. Seriously. And I had a whole bunch of questions about that the other day. Like, when your children get sick, those of you that believe the whole healthcare system is racist and they're all just trying to kill us, when your kids get sick, do you not take them to the doctor? Right? And like there's other like maintenance things we need to do with our health. Those of you that think that all the doctors are trying to kill you, like do women not go to the gyno? Like do you not get prenatal care because the doctors are all trying to kill you and your unborn child? I'm very confused about this. Or are we selective? Do we not get like checkups? But when it comes to something serious, because I see the ambulance going and taking people to St. Joe's and taking people to St. Mary's. Some of y'all believe in getting some medical care. 414-678 says, Al should run for mayor. Mike from Mill Road said, who is Al talking to? 414-699 says, first of all, Al Sharpton does not wear a perm anymore, and there's nothing wrong with marching, whether it's 1 million men or whether it's for injustice. But bad-mouthing religion can be very dangerous. I would hate to be standing near Al when lightning strikes. I think it's pretty clear that Al has some issues with organized religion, and it sounds personal. Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from him. It sounds like he may have had an experience or two that were unsavory, and maybe that changed his idea about either the institution of religion or church-going people, because we know they can be hypocrites. Some of the worst people that we all know treat human beings horribly, but they have this self-proclaimed righteousness because they've been saved. I personally see that a lot. They treat other human beings terribly because of the relationship they believe that they have with God. And that to me is just, it's an oxymoron, because wouldn't God want you to be nice to people? But whatever. What do I know? Always at Work says, in not looking like you're 90 in your 60s, I know I named actors, but black don't crack unless you're on crack. Oh, I got to scroll up. Always at Work said Angela Bassett, Halle Berry, Viola Davis, Alfie Woodard. Black is still beautiful after 55. We don't break down like the whites do. And I said that having money actually helps. Because you know, when you have money, you can take better care of yourself. You can get better health care. You can eat better. You can live a much more fulfilling life where it slows the aging process. Now, money helps. Y'all know that. And Always at Work says not having a drug addiction or drinking problem is a bigger factor than money. Let's just say that they're both important factors. All right. 414213 says, happy birthday to Miss Shack, they say. And no, your 5 starting callers, that's the fun of your show, the regulars. Okay. We do have a cast of characters here. And one of them is the caller, and the caller says, 101.7%, Miss Shack. You only as old as you feel and look. 101.7%. The truth, Professor Hughes, if 55 or 65 is a cutoff age for politics, age discrimination will grow in the private sector. Dr. Ken is an example of an elder who is in better physical shape and more mentally sharp than many folks who are half his age. America has many healthy, capable seniors and many unhealthy, unqualified young people. And maybe that's what it is. There's some people who think that their prosperity and their progress is being hindered because these old people won't step aside. The old people won't pass the baton. Maybe you're just not qualified for the job and the position that you want. So let's say all the old people, and whatever age we pick, okay, all the old people over 65 or 70, all of you go away. Because then do we think that we're not going to get their jobs and their titles and their leadership positions? Some of us are not qualified. That has to be going into some of the thinking, like, oh, we want the old people to go away so we can have their jobs. Y'all probably couldn't qualify for their jobs. The caller says, Professor Hughes, which two people can beat Dr. Ken, 70, and Denise Thomas in her late 40s? Dr. Ken ain't 70. Not yet. He's in his 60s. Can beat Denise and Dr. Ken in a foot race. I'll bet anybody $101.70 that Doc and DT will smoke any two Truth employees. Add 55-year-old Tony Smith to their team. First of all, I could beat Denise running 100%. Denise don't look fast. I'll smoke Denise. I'll race Denise right down Wisconsin Avenue. DT, if you listen, go put your track shoes on. I got my tennis shoes on. I'll race Denise. Dr. Ken will probably do some old cop stuff to cheat and probably win. He probably, right when we get to the starting line, okay, Sherwin, you ready to race me? Yeah, Dr. Ken, I'm ready to race you. And he probably tased me. He, ha, 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 I just tased you. Ha, I'm going to win the race now. Great take, Professor Hughes. Lots of folks talk like they're Rastas who don't believe in modern medicine until they get a wisdom tooth. Then they beg for pain medicine and antibiotics. Kevin says, at Sherwin, I don't dislike Al, but I think he does gay men a disservice because he behaves like a stereotype of a gay black man. Oh, sheesh. Plus, the sex obsession makes him sound crazy. I don't care if you're straight, gay, whatever. A pervert is a pervert. That's a little bit harsh, Kevin. Project Reclamation America. Why is that this person's name in our address book? Like, what does that even mean? I probably should look that up. It might be something weird. Project Reclamation America says, the truth getting some money now. They can't have Al messing up the bag. If you want the money, you got to play by the rules. Mike said, get rid of Al. Don't allow him to call in anymore. Now I'm just going to read all the text messages. I used to censor them, but there's a lot of anti-Al sentiment. And then a person named Al texted in, not the Al that calls. That Al guy needs help. He must have a lot of church hurt. What you just said about religion and the people that think their crap don't stink is true. And Martin says, Sherwin, the Truth Olympics. Let's start it. All right. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When looking for a healthcare provider, you want someone who genuinely cares about you, which is why Health Connections Incorporated is where it's at. They're a Black, woman-led nonprofit organization that provides both clinical and non-clinical healthcare. The direct clinical care they provide includes primary care, HIV care and prevention, and transgender health. HCI leaders are advocates, activists, decision makers, speakers, organizers, and collaborators on social determinants of health that impact healthcare access and health equity for all. Sign up for their mailing list at healthconnectmke.org.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Melanie Ricks with her truth.
What's up, everybody? It's Melanie Ricks from Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks. A thought that I have on my mind today: you have to put out the energy that you want to receive in return. I've noticed recently that I tend to have expectations for others that I don't also have for myself. For example, if I text my friend, I expect them to respond instantly. But if somebody texts me, I'll take my time and respond whenever I'm good and ready to. So why is it that I feel as if others have to get back to me right away if I'm not willing to get back to them? That's just one minor example. But when it comes to work, let's say you're feeling dissatisfied with your job performance or maybe with the atmosphere, what's going on with work. Perhaps so you're hoping for a promotion of some sort and things just aren't going the way that you want. Okay, so what are you doing to fix that? What are you doing to work your way towards a better work situation? What is the energy that you are putting toward your job, toward your coworkers? Even when it comes to family dynamics and other relationships, or perhaps encounters with strangers. What is the energy that you are giving to the people around you? And what is the energy that you expect in return? I sincerely believe in the law of attraction, and I very much do feel that what you put out is what you will receive. So if you are someone who feels as if you are not getting the best out of things in life, perhaps it's because you are not putting your best foot forward and you are not putting the best energy that you can toward those things. The law of attraction is real, y'all. I'm telling you.
Listen to Nothing But the Truth with Melanie Ricks, weekdays from noon to 1 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yeah. What? Yeah. And what the people say.
Church music for y'all. Let's talk to. Oh, God. Al, listen. You're going to have to calm down if I take your call, Al. Let's talk to Rob first. Rob, you're on the new 1017 The Truth.
Good morning, Sherwin.
Hi.
Enjoying the show as usual.
Thank you.
I'm in your Facebook group,
Yes.
Hughes Views.
Yes.
There's a guy in there, or there's a person in there, and they posted a question or made a comment. I can't remember their tag or their name. I think it was one of the last names was like Kiowa. Anyway, he said he doesn't think that there's going to be a 2024 election. There's going to be some sort of national emergency.
Rob, that was you that typed that.
Like climate lockdown. So it'll be postponed or delayed. I just want to get your thoughts.
That's insane.
And
that's absolutely insane.
Lastly,
and that's a conspiracy theory. That's why I didn't approve it in the group. So there's no way that you saw somebody else type that because I didn't approve it because it's an insane Trumpian conspiracy theory that, quote unquote, something is going to happen so we don't have the 2024 election. No, we're going to have the 2024 election whether people like it or not. So I wasn't going to entertain that by having that. It's going to happen. So no, there's not going to be some manufactured disaster. Now, they tried to do something on January 6, 2021, and that didn't work either.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts. And
why do you think that they're going to cancel the 2024 election? No, go ahead and put your conspiracy theory out there. Go ahead.
No, you said he didn't post it. So we're going to
No, you posted it and I didn't approve it. So you making it seem like somebody else typed that. You typed that. Now I'm asking you, why do you think there's not going to be a 2024 election?
I didn't post that.
Okay.
So we're gonna go with the I didn't post that, and I just want to get your thoughts on that. Appreciate it, enjoying the show, and everybody have a nice holiday weekend.
Okay, bye. Okay, so here's how I know that he typed that nonsense, because nobody in the group saw that comment because I didn't approve it, but for some reason he knew what that comment was that nobody saw. That's because he typed it. He said there's going to be some kind of disaster where they're going to cancel the 2024 election. This is also the same dude that calls and said that climate change is a hoax. Y'all remember that? And I said, okay, give me something. Give me a reason. Give me some data. Give me some facts proving the fact why you think it's a hoax. And then remember what he said? I'm not by my computer. I'll call you back. And he ain't never called back. Look, listen, Al. Everybody's going to relax. We're going to calm down. Going to take a couple of deep breaths. And everything is going to be just fine. It's going to be fine.
You, Lou?
I'm here.
Okay, all right. And the reason I'm sorry I got a little agitated because I see these seniors who sit there and I see how some of them be looking for their kids to come around. Kids that they did not turn their back on. Kids that they raised. And yes, some of you do help your parents, and for those who did, congratulations. But I see it. I see it when the parents dies and the kids come up bragging, oh, well, my grandma was in debt $13,000. But y'all don't get why y'all didn't pay it off. She cared. She took care of you. She put you through college. She went without. I see when some of these parents have their kids living right across the street and their kids can't even help them, but they can make it to church every Sunday. So it has absolutely nothing about church. I don't do church. I don't pay for guidance. I'm not a prostitute and I'm not a whore. So I don't need to pay for somebody to give me guidance. I give me guidance. So it has nothing about church. What it's about is the laws and principles when it comes to your parents. And if y'all are if some of y'all getting upset, that's because it's hitting home. Because some of those individuals is touching. Because if it's not you, why would you be bothered? Why would you be pressed? So I'm only talking about what I see in life. So if you get upset, boo-hoo. And when you talk to Jesus, get his real name. And then we can talk some real stuff. And once again, have a wonderful holiday. And I'm going to end it at that. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks. Why does every call have to turn into anti-church with Al? Denise says, Sherwin, Al is a little extra on your show. He makes great points, but his expressions turns me off most of the time. He doesn't do that on other shows. See, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, why on this program? It shows a lack of respect. And Denise wants to know, Al, what's up with that? Al has definitely church hurt. Sorry, Al, I hear you. And then Opie says, Ephesians 6:1 talks about parents. Well, should I read the Bible verse when we come back? Am I saying it right? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. Okay, well, we're going to read Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call, That's All Gruber Cash Giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call, That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call, That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as one business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Calling all dessert lovers. Craving something sweet and delicious? Look no further than Rashida's Creations, your one-stop dessert shop. Indulge in Rashida's heavenly cake slices, available at 48 local stores near you. Or treat yourself to the finest flavors that'll satisfy your cravings. Like Rashida's Strawberry Crunch Crumb or Rashida's Sweet Cake Jars, which are now available to ship across the U.S. Follow Rashida's Creations on Facebook at Rashida's Creations or place an order directly from their website at rashidascreations.com.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips that you plan in advance, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends for which you make a group chat 3 months before so that nobody or anything is missing? Or your daughter's first birthday party. You planned it with such dedication that instead of the first, it felt like our 15's. The same way you plan each detail for those moments. Start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back to the program. All right, Dion, what you got for us?
Hey, man, long time. How you been?
I've been
caught me
fine.
when I'm trying to wipe my dog rear end right now. So
We didn't need to know that.
Bear with me.
We didn't need to know.
No,
that.
but if you hear, whining a little bit. But anyway, so I'm enjoying the show as always. Definitely appreciate Bob, sending the shout out to me. I just be sitting back just listening though. I'm still a little mad you borrowed my player buddy Meeks, but it is what it is. I still get to listen to him on other shows though. But that one guy, he rough though. He rough. But I ain't gonna get on here and bash him though. Just hopefully he'll be able to tune it down and we can and he can keep calling though. But how you been though, Sherwin? Man, I ain't had a chance to really chop it up with you in quite some time. How life been treating me?
Life has been treating me well, Dion. I'm doing perfectly fine.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Life been treating me good too, man. I just been hanging in there, taking it easy. I start back work next week with the kiddos and things like that. And,
whoa. Wait, you gonna work? Wait. You working with kids?
No, I told you I work at an MPM serving lunch.
Oh, that's right. You are a lunch lady.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The other day they had something about race up in there. They were talking about race. I'm talking about, listen, man, you would have loved it. Then you hear the white people in the background. They was talking about, well, what about when black people be racist to us? And you know me, I wanted to stand up and just be like, but I didn't though. I wanted to talk to the guy that was facilitating. I was like, see, that's because they had what is whiteness. And, people are like, and then you'll be surprised how many African Americans really don't know what whiteness is, So I was just schooling some of the people on the dough. But other than that,
where was this conversation? Where did this conversation take place? I hope not at the school you work at.
No, okay. Basically, for 2 days, we had to go. It's like some type of sensitive training thing where, you see people who ain't, the people that, like the homosexuals and stuff, you got to be careful how you address them. And then they had a segment on it about race. They do it in like little increments, like I don't know what you call them. I can't
like a diversity
word,
training you had, like a diversity training.
Yes.
For MPS, because you're employed by MPS, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it was real nice though. I was listening to you while I was up in there though. I was like, and then I text you. I was like, you would love this. I went outside and text you on our break. But other than that though, I've just been listening to the callers and you've been having some real good topics. Most of the time, within a few minutes, I'm going to be going back to sleep. I catch you early in the morning, and I try to catch you and Michelle, though. I catch y'all early in the morning. Then around this time, I got to go back to sleep so I can get up and go to work. But I'm enjoying, always the dialogue and the information. Why you don't do you like Lavelle Crawford? Because he going to be here this Saturday at the Improv. It's a nice little decent place, though. I like going to comedy shows. I think I'm going to shoot down to Detroit next month to catch Cat Williams. My bread ain't long enough to go see Dave Chappelle. And like I was saying yesterday, like, why would Dave want to ain't nobody supporting him but black people.
Dave is not charging those prices. Dave got paid for the tour, and the people that are putting the tour on, the promoters, the Five Serve Forum, they're trying to recoup the money. Ticketmaster, Live Nation, they're trying to recoup the money. Dave don't set the ticket prices. Dave said, this is how much it's going to cost for me to go on tour. And then the ticket price, and quite honestly, it's the resellers that are jacking up the prices. I actually got a pair of tickets very, very close to the stage for a reasonable amount of money.
Okay. Yeah, that's just like in gym shoes.
they got resellers. Well, I ain't gonna hold. I was gonna get on here and talk crazy about Al, but I ain't got time for that though. I got other energy. I could be focused on something else. I was wiping my dog rump though. That took a lot of energy.
Hold on, man. I didn't need to know that. Here's what I am curious about though. Why did you decide to apply to be a lunch lady at MPS?
Well, I applied for. I was looking for a part-time job. Remember, I was working at Russ Darrow Kia. I got fired from there because when you work part-time jobs, they think they can talk to you any type of way. You understand what I'm saying? I got a full-time job. The only reason I got this part-time job is because I'm trying to do some extra things, but I'm not going to be there that long, though, neither, though. I'm going to get some new cabinets put in my house. What else?
But why that? Dion, there's a lot of part-time jobs.
No, that was building services was full time. That was the only part time that was available. It's not bad though. You know what I'm saying? All I do is just sit there and pass out the lunches. Because everything's coming like little cold and hot trays though. But what did upset
Dion,
me,
you don't have the kind of personality to be a lunch lady. You wear a hairnet?
I don't have the type of. I ain't got no hair. Remember?
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't have the type of personality to do nothing but be in the house, though. You understand what I'm saying? So
that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you are very, like, a solitary person, kind of a loner, and you going to be passing out lunches to MPS kids? Okay.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. But I won't be there that long after I get what I need done to my home and some other things, and I can,
What school are you working at?
Working my other job. I can't tell you that. No, I ain't gonna tell you that now.
A high school? A middle school? Elementary school?
Elementary school, yeah, because we go back next week after Labor Day. That'll be that first day.
Okay, so you going to pass out lunches to the little kids?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, good luck.
But, I definitely appreciate it. Keep up the good work. They sell out and try to keep the vulgarity down. We enjoy this show, man. Even though it's not fully black network, but we still enjoy it, though. So you guys just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Deanna.
Yes,
good luck
sir.
being a lunch lady for middle school at MPS. Brittany says, I would like to know why Al hates the church so much. What did the church do to him? Short story. Call in again, Al, and let us know. No, Brittany, no. We're not going to encourage him to call again. He's already called enough. And I don't want to know, quite honestly. I don't think any of us want to know what happened. Don't want to know, not our business, because he's very open with what he shares. And if he wanted to tell us, he would tell us. So he hasn't told us, so maybe we don't need to know. 414982 says, Sherwin, I ended my call with all wrong. I should have said I can neither confirm or deny I made the post. Oh, so you're the person, Rob, that called, and you just sent me a link. Okay, now I'm going to click on the link because this is the link that's supposed to convince me that climate change is a hoax. And so the link from the National Library of Medicine says, many climate change scientists do not agree that global warming is happening. And it looks like it's an article. I don't know if it's peer reviewed, but I know this much. The article is from 1998. Rob, that's 25 years ago. I'd imagine the information, the data, the facts, and the science that we have acquired over the last quarter century might shed a little more light and aid in proving that climate change is real. This is an article from 25 years ago. Here's what I would like you to do, Rob. Find something current, recent, that is credible so you can make your case. But sending me an article from April 11th, 1998 does not necessarily prove your case. Okay, what is it? Oh, I know what it is. It's that full moon. The moon. Did y'all see the moon? I didn't get to see the moon. And then somebody said something this morning, go outside and see the moon. I didn't see no moon this morning. A bunch of y'all took pictures of the moon. When the moon is full, I've been noticing this all the years I've been doing this work. Y'all go nuts. Some of y'all probably howled at the moon last night. But when the moon is full, people, they change different. That's why I think that werewolves don't exist. I think that it was a myth that was started because people act weird and act different, and they change when the moon is full. That's what it's the blue moon, the harvest blue moon, whatever it is. Project Reclamation, I am absolutely not reading that on the air. In fact, you should be ashamed of yourself. Some of y'all text worse things than Al says. Grant says, Professor Hughes, do you realize twice you said Dion applied to be a lunch lady? Am I missing something here? Dion serves lunches for an MPS school. Because to me, people that serve lunches are always lunch ladies. Aren't they? They're just, you call him a lunch lady. And he's not offended by it. Now, Al is texting. Al, I can't read that word. I can't. Al is sending all these, like, I was supposed to read a Bible verse. What time is it? Ephesians 6:1. I'm finna read it. Who sent that? Opie sent this. And we're going to talk to Al Cole in a little while. He is with Excel Property and Contracting. We're really going to change it up. We got to change topics here. Ephesians 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right, that it may go well with you and that you may enjoy long life on the earth. Fathers, do not exasperate your children. Instead, bring them up in the training and instruction of the Lord. Well, that sounds like very sound advice from Opie. I'm sure Al's probably going to take some issue with that. Okay, so we're going to take a little break in a second. Everyone's going to relax. We're going to regroup. We're going to hear from a different Al about property, Excel Property and Contracting. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Tune in to the new 1017 The Truth's Business Spotlight this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. between The Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. We will be speaking with Alex Eichhorn, partner and attorney at Tayback Law, who will discuss workers' compensation benefits and why you should consider hiring an attorney with no upfront cost to ensure you receive the workers' compensation claim which is owed to you. Again, that is the Business Spotlight with Tayback Law this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth.
Coming with straight truth.
In my lifetime, I've watched, we got to intercede when they're in high school. We got to intercede when they're a junior. Intercede when they're a sophomore, freshman. Got to intercede when they're in 8th grade. It's the time in between. Oh, no, it's 6th grade. It's 5th grade. Now we're talking 3rd grade. So at what point will we figure out it's a good time?
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
The key slides into the ignition. The engine rumbles to life. My hand grips the throttle. New gear for my ride. The road, my invitation. The sound, the smell, the exhilaration. I am one with the bike, and the car in front of me suddenly turns in my lane. Motorcycles are everywhere, but too often go unnoticed. Please, always look twice, be alert, and share the road with motorcycles at all times. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'm fortunate to have an Al in the studio. Not that Al, but Al Cole of XL Property and Contracting. Hey, Al, how are you?
Sherwin, I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, it's my pleasure. So you guys offer a lot of services at XL Property and Contracting, so I'm not even sure where to dive in and where to begin. Your primary type of services that you offer to homeowners, maybe we should start there.
To homeowners, yeah. So as a general contractor, we offer full remodeling and design services. And we also do property management as well for real estate investors. And then we also provide cleaning services too for commercial and residential properties.
So if I own a whole bunch of properties, I'm a super duper landlord, I can hire XL Property and Contracting and you guys can manage my properties for me.
Absolutely. We can fill it with tenants. We'll do all of the screening. We'll collect the rents and do a basic management of your portfolio.
And then when one tenant moves out, sometimes tenants leave messes.
Absolutely.
You guys also come and take care of the debris, let's just say, left behind by the tenants. And you also make repairs to things they've damaged.
Absolutely. That's one of the core principles of property management is the tenant turnover aspect of it. And we're pretty efficient with that.
We sometimes in Wisconsin, we get storms that can cause a tremendous amount of damage. I know that if the damage to our property is obvious, well, then we want to get it taken care of.
Right.
But there's a lot of properties that get damaged and we may not know. Talk about that service you guys offer.
Yeah, so right now we are in the area doing storm damage inspections. Earlier this year, a couple occurrences happened with some wind and hail. And so we are offering a free service to assess individuals' properties to see if they have any storm-related damage to their properties. And if they do, we can help assist them with navigating through the insurance process to potentially get their insurance company to pay for replacing the roof, siding, and/or gutters.
So there's a couple of unknowns there. If someone who never goes on their roof, I'll admit I don't go on my roof, or if they don't see or inspect their gutters, they may have damage that they're entirely unaware of it. So I guess how do we encourage people that after we have a big storm, even if they don't see any obvious damage to their property, to give you guys a call so you guys can do that inspection for them and find hidden damage?
I think the biggest encouragement is that it's free. It's not going to cost you anything. It's just give us a call. We'll schedule the inspection. We'll come out as a courtesy and give your property a quick once over and let you know what's going on. If there's nothing, we'll shake hands and go. We'll give you a card. And if you have anything going on in the future, just keep us in mind.
What if I want to buy a house? You know, we encourage people to become homeowners, and it's a complicated process. There's a lot of things you got to look for. And if you're a first-time homeowner, you may not know what to look for. You guys offer a service for potential home buyers as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you know, Sherwin, I've been a licensed real estate professional since 2009. And so in addition to being a real estate agent, I am a licensed contractor. So just imagine you're on your home buying process and I'm with you and we're walking through properties and I can switch hats as your buyer agent and also as your contractor and look at the property from a total viewpoint and help you make a very defined decision on the property that you're purchasing.
So how does that differ from just a regular old home inspection? Because you need to have that's a part of the process of buying a house. You hire somebody that comes in and does an assessment of the property. They look at the basement. They look at all sorts of things, furnace, central AC, roof, gutters. So how do you differ from just a regular home inspection that most people might be familiar with?
Yeah, so a home inspection is going to be much more detailed. Home inspectors carry their own credential and errors and emissions insurance, things of that nature. So we're not home inspectors, but we will provide that additional insurance when walking through a property. Now, with the market that we're in, a lot of times buyers are writing offers without home inspections to make their offers stronger. And so if you have me on your team, that would allow you to make a more informed decision when making an offer on the property without a home inspection contingency.
How is today's real estate market? They tell me the interest rates are, let's just say, a little more inflated than they were some years ago. From your perspective, what's the real estate market like these days?
Well, the real estate market is what it is. They're trying to curtail inflation, so you have to increase the interest rates in order to do that. From my viewpoint, I remember in early 2000, the rates were where they're at now. So it's just kind of a cyclical thing that happens with interest rates. And unfortunately, if you missed the boat from a couple of years ago where you had 2% interest rates, that's not coming back anytime soon. So I wouldn't bank on interest rates going down anytime soon. So if you're looking to buy right now, it's still a good time.
You operate in different states, is that correct?
I do.
You're not down in Florida, are you? Because they really going to need you down there.
Not in Florida. I am in Houston.
Okay. So the services you offer there, are they the exact same services you offer to people here in Wisconsin?
They do differ. We primarily offer roofing, siding, and gutter work in the Houston area.
So if people want to find out more information about the bevy of services that you guys offer at Excel Property and Contracting, how do they do so?
It's very simple. You can give us a call at 877-277-6817. You can give your information to our receptionist, and you'll be transferred either over to myself or someone on our team, or we'll get back to you to schedule an inspection or consult with you with whatever you're looking to have done.
Give us that phone number one more time.
That's 877-277-6817.
Now let's talk about you, Al. You're from here, right? From the general vicinity, right? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up on the northwest side of Milwaukee. I attended Whitefish Bay High School. I'm a graduate, proudly to say.
Kyle Wallace, our content director here, is also there. I knew he wasn't going to be far away when he heard that Whitefish Bay.
What's up, alum? How are you?
Oh, jeez.
What's happening?
So something special about Whitefish Bay.
Oh,
Apparently.
yeah. Blue Dukes, home of the Blue Dukes.
I went to Brown Deer, home of the Falcons. Y'all don't want none of this. However, I digress. So I think we're roughly the same age, right? Right around the same age?
I would say so, yes.
So the changes that you have seen in the city, I mean, not just the way it looks, but like the social and the cultural climate. Are you as disappointed when you ride around this city as I am?
I am. But I also think that it's systematic, and I don't want to go in that direction, but...
I mean, we'd love it if you went in that direction, but I suppose we're here having a conversation about other things.
Right, exactly. So I'm not too happy about the state of what's going on in our city. So that's why we're looking to provide some type of solid help for people that are homeowners in a community that need some good help. So that's what we're here for.
So what is the process like? They call your phone number. They may be curious about a variety of different services that you offer. Maybe they manage properties and it's getting to be a little bit much for them because a lot of folks that own properties, they have other jobs. They can't necessarily respond to a tenant's issue in the middle of the night. So if somebody needs you and they need you in a hurry, what is the process like? They call you. You send somebody out. Is there paperwork to fill out? What do folks have to do to get your services?
Yeah, so if they're looking to take us under management, we would first interview the property. So it means go out, take a look at the property, and then also interview the owner. Every owner is not a good owner to work with. I'm just going to be quite frank. So we've turned down a lot of management opportunities based on how the owner treats their property. And so we look at those things. So we go out and take a look at the property, see if there's any work that needs to be done to it, and then encourage the homeowner or property owner or investor to get those items repaired before we take over management of it, and we'll provide a scope of work for them. We found that when doing that, it allows for easier management on the property. It allows for us to have a better relationship with the tenants too as well, when they know that we're involved and we're taking care of things on the property efficiently.
What do you say to folks who believe that being a landlord is easy? Because they know a lot of people that own property, and the people that own property will talk about all the money they make when they go around and collect rent. But those folks don't always talk about how incredibly difficult it actually is. Some folks think you go and you find a property, maybe you have equity in your home, you use some of that equity to go buy a piece of real estate, of income producing property, and think, oh, that's it. I just get some tenants, they pay my rent, maybe they'll shovel the snow, they'll cut the grass for me, and I'll just make a whole bunch of money when I collect rent. That couldn't be further from the truth. Like, a lot of people, I bet, get deceived when they believe that, I'm just going to buy this duplex down on 38th Street. I'm going to find some tenants, or maybe there's tenants already in there. It's a lot more to it than just collecting the rent.
It is a lot more to it. That's why having the proper management team on your team is what makes it a lot easier. If you're doing it on your own and you're green, then you can definitely come across some issues.
What is some of the worst stuff you've seen from a vacated tenant? And I'd imagine it's worse if they get evicted, because people that get evicted are very angry.
Oh, yeah.
And they want to let everybody know how incredibly angry they are. So have you seen like some real major damage and destruction done by tenants?
Oh, yeah. I've had properties that have been damaged by family members that rented from us. Okay. And, they dumped their personal belongings in the backyard. They damaged windows, and just to spite, us as owners or management. So we see it all the time. We've seen everything.
What is a landlord's recourse, right? If you get a disgruntled tenant, they ain't paid the rent in God knows how long. And also, I don't know if folks know this, evicting somebody is not easy. Like, there's a process. You can't just say, hey, you didn't pay your rent, get out. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do to remove somebody from your property. But in the event that you have a tenant that damaged the property, like, what, as the property owner, can you do? What recourse do you have to try and recoup some of those damages?
I believe we live in a state or a city that is very tenant friendly, and I suppose that's a good thing. You don't want to displace tenants without knowing the full state of what's going on. So as a owner, if you do have any issues with the tenant, proper notice is what you need to do or need to serve in order to properly evict them in an efficient manner. An efficient manner is going to be probably 30 or 45 days.
And I know that during the pandemic, or at least extending through the tail end of it, and after the pandemic, it ceased to be an issue, there was a moratorium on evictions. And I know that that's wonderful when you hear about that, because some people, they can't find another place to live. The pandemic laid a lot of people off. Maybe people can't afford skyrocketing rents, which we know has happened. But that can be a nightmare, too, for certain landlords that have the worst possible nightmare tenants. Now this moratorium on evictions, you have to let them stay there, and they still might not be paying the rent, right?
Absolutely. But the good thing about it is that we have relationships with agencies in the city that will pay the landlords for the missed payments from the tenants in that moratorium situation. Because as you know, the government was giving out funds, allocating funds to the agencies. And as long as you know who to contact in those situations, you contact them early, you'll be able to get full payment on those rent arrears.
Al Cole, the proprietor of XL Property and Contracting. Well, thank you for stopping by. We're so glad to be working with you. Give that phone number out again so people can give you a call and explore the services you offer to homeowners, landlords, property owners, etc.
Absolutely. It's 877-277-6817. You can also visit our website at xlprop.com. That's xlprop.com.
Thank you, sir. And I'm not going to hold it against you that you went to Whitefish Bay.
Don't hold it against me, please don't.
All right. Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Tori Lowe, and I am Milwaukee. The Tori Lowe Show has become a resource for the community. I enjoy having open, on-air discussions about what we can do to regroup, rethink the black man, the black woman, and the black child. This show is about that action, and I want all the smoke. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the new 101.7 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
When you choose Ascension Wisconsin for your family's care needs, you'll get the right care at the right place at the right time, and you'll get an entire team ready to care for your family. Family medicine doctors care for the whole family, and Ascension Wisconsin will help make sure your family is up to date on screenings and yearly wellness checks. Ascension also cares for you when you are sick and helps manage ongoing chronic conditions. If you don't have a primary care doctor, go to getascensionwisconsincare.com to find one today.
Educators Credit Union is dedicated to celebrating diversity in the cities where they live and work. Because of this dedication, they support black businesses not just during National Black Business Month, but throughout the year. Supporting black businesses boosts local economies, produces jobs, and helps entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. Educators Credit Union will continue sharing the stories of black businesses, building relationships with businesses in local communities, and buying from these businesses. Learn more about their community partnerships at ecu.com.
Who is this at my door? Gina Della from Pella?
Hi, Dr. Ken. Ugh, you have mosquitoes everywhere in here. Ew. You need Pella's 250 series of windows with exclusive hidden screens. They fit inside the actual window and protect you from nature.
Hey, yes. Now that's a phenomenal idea. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin to the rescue.
Get a 250 series patio door and 8 double-hung windows with hidden screens as low as $188 per month. PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. See showroom for details. Offer ends 8/31/23.
They are our cuddlers and coworkers, purr machines and love bugs, and constant companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life so much better. When we face unexpected challenges in life, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people who love their pets and the pets who love their people, ensuring these families stay exactly where they belong, together. And you have something to offer. With an open heart and mind, there is nothing you can't do. There's no gesture too small or too big when it comes to helping. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. You can help keep pets and people together. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. This has been a public service announcement brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I can't do reads on it. Hey now. This song. Do it later. I'll just answer it. Hello, who is this calling my job?
Hey, I was calling to try to get that guy number from Exhale again. All I got was the 877. Is he still around? Maybe you can grab it for me.
I got his number right here. You got something to write with?
Yeah.
877.
Got you.
277.
277.
6817.
6817. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Tell him you heard him on The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. All right, then, James. So there was a traffic death of an 11-year-old child that was riding his bike down Fond du Lac when the speeding motorist hit the child. Because we come to find out the person turned themselves in, and it's a 30-year-old man, did not stop. So it was a hit and run. Well, the 11-year-old child has now succumbed to their injuries, and it is now a vehicular homicide. I've told you guys on previous programs that I purchased a bike because I wanted to get some exercise, because during the pandemic, it was real easy to watch Netflix and order DoorDash and eat. And I wanted to get out of the house. I do like being outdoors when the weather is nice. So I bought a bike. And I rather enjoyed riding my bike. I used to ride a bike all the time when I was a kid, and it was good to be nostalgic again and ride my bike. But I noticed something as I rode my bike. And I live in the city on the north side, like literally right in the middle of the city. And even during the pandemic, when there was dramatically less traffic, reckless driving was a major, major problem. And I cannot tell you how many close calls I had riding my bike on Milwaukee streets. You're not supposed to ride your bike on the sidewalk. But I felt safer riding on the sidewalk because at least I am out of traffic. And I don't think that we have a level of respect. Now, some drivers are very respectful, but some of them don't have any respect for other cars, let alone somebody on a bike. You are very vulnerable when you are on two wheels. So people not having respect for traffic and traffic lights and stop signs and yield signs, well, being on a bike, you're at even higher risk. But then I noticed something else because I said, well, screw it. I'm just going to ride on the sidewalk. That is actually even more dangerous. And let me tell you why. When people back out of their driveways, I know I'm very cognizant of this and I'm very conscious of it. Okay. When I back out of my driveway, I look to see if there is someone either walking or biking past on the sidewalk. A lot of people don't do that. And so here I am riding on the sidewalk trying to save myself from getting hit by a reckless driver when I'm biking on the street. It was actually more dangerous because people will speed out of their driveways because most of the time people are reversing out of their driveways. Some of y'all don't even look in your rearview mirror or even turn around to see what's behind you when you reverse out of your driveway. So it's very dangerous. Long story short, I stopped riding my bike. That's a nice bike too. It's a Trek hybrid with 21 speeds and it's black. And I got all the stuff. I got a cell phone holder for it. It's decked out. I got special grips. I got a nice seat because it hurts when you're on a bike. It hurts your butt. I got a very nice, expensive custom seat. I got a water bottle holder. I was preparing myself for the Tour de France because when I buy a bike, I'm going to have all of the things so I can bike across country. Clearly, I never biked across country. I stopped riding my bike because it's too dangerous. And then when I hear about this 11-year-old child who just died in the last 24 hours from being struck, I believe it was over the weekend, maybe on Sunday, it absolutely breaks my heart. Milwaukee police announced on Wednesday that the 11-year-old boy struck by a car has succumbed to his injuries. The day before, police arrested a man and recovered the suspect vehicle in connection to the hit and run on Fond du Lac Avenue and Melvina. Police told WISN that the 30-year-old man turned himself in. The boy was riding his bicycle when crossing Fond du Lac Avenue when he was struck by the vehicle which fled eastbound on Fond du Lac. A witness said two cars were racing down busy Fond du Lac Avenue when one of the drivers hit the young boy. Terribly sad. And our deepest condolences go to that child's family. Something else about this story, there was a medical professional that was nearby when the accident took place, and they administered CPR to this child, which authorities believe helped prolong the child's life. So thank God for Good Samaritans. They are still out there. But then I found this story, which it hit home as well. Did you guys notice that the appearance of bike lanes in our community is a relatively new phenomenon? You guys familiar with, bike lanes? They're popping up all over the place where we used to have 2 lanes of traffic. You now have 1 lane of traffic and then a bike lane. And conventional wisdom would tell you, that is a traffic calming feature, because when you don't have 2 lanes, you got 1 lane of traffic and a dedicated bike lane. That's supposed to reduce people's speeds. It's supposed to give people that are riding bikes their own lane of safety. Well, not exactly. I come to find out with this story that appears in Melanin Basecamp. Here's another negative statistic, just in case you needed another one, that African Americans and Native Americans are the most likely to be hurt or killed as pedestrians crossing the street. Yet another statistic that impacts us. And so this story is really, really interesting. I want to read a lot of it to you. It goes into the unnecessary engineering of putting bike lanes in African American and people of color communities, because it does very little to ensure our safety as pedestrians. It says, have you ever thought about purchasing a bike? maybe to save money on your daily commute or to lessen your carbon footprint, only to change your mind at the last minute because you thought it would be too scary to ride your bike in traffic, and I can relate to that. You may be on to something. American roads are becoming even more dangerous, according to Smart Growth America, which is a nonprofit organization that studies pedestrian and traffic accidents. It's becoming even more dangerous, especially for bicyclists and pedestrians. However, that wasn't always the case. Cyclists and pedestrian deaths actually declined in the 1970s and the 2000s, but after reaching a low point in 2009, they began trending upward again. In 2020, this advocacy group tracked a total of 6,500 pedestrian deaths, or nearly 18 per day, a 4.5% increase from the previous year. Native Americans and African Americans are most at risk of being struck and killed, are overrepresented on this list. 932 cyclist deaths were also recorded in the year 2020. With America's streets so undeniably dangerous for bicyclists and pedestrians, the resistance to bike lanes in urban areas can feel confusing and counterintuitive. Why are certain communities so opposed to their construction? So the one that really changed my perception of bike lanes is on Roosevelt. So Roosevelt actually exists in two separate pieces of geography in the city of Milwaukee. So I'm talking about the northwestern stretch of Roosevelt, which goes from 60th and Burleigh to 35th and Capitol through the St. Joseph's Orthodox Jewish neighborhood. That used to be 2 lanes of traffic. And then maybe it's probably been 7 or 8 years now, they created a bike lane. And I'm thinking to myself, this is entirely unnecessary. This is not a community in which a lot of people ride bikes. And I actually was offended. Now, I didn't protest. I know that all over the country in black neighborhoods, when they're suggesting putting in bike lanes, a lot of African-American residents don't want it because they see it as not only not calming traffic, okay, but it's a sign of gentrification. It is a way in which a culture and a community, not black and not Native American, because we are the 2 racial groups that are killed most in pedestrian and traffic accidents, we don't ask for bike lanes. It's for other people. First they'll put in the bike lane, and that's the first tip of the iceberg to gentrification coming in our communities while we are still dying in traffic fatalities in higher numbers. This 11-year-old child who just died yesterday notwithstanding. I'm going to dig a little bit more into this on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Associated Bank, they know opportunity can't wait. If you're a female or minority small business owner, their community uplift loans could be for you. Loans range from $5,000 to $50,000. Get funds in as little as 1 business day. Talk to a relationship manager today about a community uplift loan and other business banking services. Call 800-270-7725. Visit AssociatedBank.com or stop by your local branch. Because you help build the Midwest and your neighborhoods, they got your back. Associated Bank, your money works here. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. 1 call, that's all. I will always trust 1 call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. 1 call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Identify meetup locations and people you'll need to contact. Put your contact list in your wallet, on your phone, and somewhere visible in your home. Build a kit. Store enough food and water for 3 days. Don't forget your pets. And consider buying a pre-made kit. Keep at least 7 days of medication on hand. Work with your pharmacist and insurance company to secure the extra doses. Make copies of important documents. Keep them on your phone, in the cloud, or on a USB stick. Stay informed. Learn about local hazards. Take courses in CPR and first aid. And sign up for local alert systems. And early warning can give you the time you need to prepare for a fast-moving disaster. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
.1017 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes for Axe Housing. You're paying too much for rent. It's time to become a homeowner. In fact, if you work with Axe Housing, the average people pay for their mortgages is about $800 a month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing will have a coach on staff that can assist you today. They'll help you create a plan and a budget. They can also get you more money for down payment assistance if you're a first-time home buyer. So if you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you should be. You can get started on a virtual home buying orientation by clicking on the Truth link at axhousing.org. That's ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially today get in the way of your bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help you. That's axhousing.org. And tune in to the new 1017 The Truth Business Spotlight today at 3:57 in the p.m. and that's Central Standard Time. Between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, we will be speaking with Alex Eichhorn, partner and attorney at Tayback Law, about why they are the best workers' compensation benefit law firm in the state and how they work to ensure you get the workers' comp benefits that are owed to you. Again, that's the Business Spotlight with Tayback Law today at 3:57 p.m. on the new and award-winning 1017 The Truth. All right, so the appearance of bike lanes does not do much to improve pedestrian safety in our community, especially when I come to find out that the rise in pedestrians getting hit and getting killed is majority Black and Native American. I had no idea, including this 11-year-old child who just died from his injuries being hit on Fond du Lac Avenue on Sunday. All right, with America's streets so undeniably dangerous for bicyclists, come on, Sherwin, and pedestrians, the resistance to bike lanes in urban areas can feel confusing and counterintuitive because they do nothing to encourage pedestrian safety. So why are certain communities so opposed to their construction? The answer is complicated. Bike lanes have long been associated with gentrification or the displacement of low or middle income communities, often Black and brown, by the arrival of wealthier people, often white professionals and their families. Across the country, bike lanes have become a political flashpoint, leading to protests and pushback from local communities who are already feeling the pressure of higher rents and property taxes. I just saw bike lanes as inconvenient. I never realized that they were a precursor to gentrification. And now when I think about it, the acceleration of bike lanes being put in all over the city, including in North Side neighborhoods where we know a lot of people don't ride bikes, at least not recreationally, I think that actually says a lot. Are bike lanes to blame for gentrification? Bike lanes don't directly cause gentrification. However, they are a symptom of it. They are also a symbol of, quote, urban renewal in the same way the white people jogging, luxury condominiums, whitewashed yoga studios, e-bikes, and artisanal coffee shops are symbols of gentrification, too. Bike lanes won't fix the bigger problem of Black and Native pedestrians dying at higher rates on U.S. streets. That's because a couple of factors. Low-income Black and brown communities are, quote, less likely to have access to parks and other opportunities for safe recreational walking, are less likely to have sidewalks, marked crosswalks, and street design to support safer, slower speeds, and that's according to Smart Growth America. So no, bike lanes will not fix the problem, which is this. Black and brown lower income communities are dangerous by design, according to Smart Growth America. And there's another statistic in here. Because I do see a fair amount of people riding bikes. I mean, I was for a period of time a person that rode a bike until I just deemed it way too dangerous in Milwaukee. So I thought the percentages of people, especially with the increased number of bike lanes, more people are biking. I know the mayor does this thing. Tom Baer started this mess. National Bike to Work Day. They started doing this in the city of Milwaukee, where you remember when they had Chevy out there wearing a helmet that was too big for his head? He got out there on a bike and he rode his bike to work. And a whole bunch of people, a bunch of professionals that all work in City Hall all rode their bikes to encourage, I don't know, healthy living and exercise or whatever the case may be. So with things like that, I'm under the impression that a lot more people actually bike to work. You know what the percentage is? 0.6% of Americans bike to work. I don't know how much it costs to install a bike lane, and I do not know how many that we have installed in the city of Milwaukee in the last probably 10 years. But I have a feeling it's probably millions of dollars that we have spent, which has done nothing to improve pedestrian safety or bicyclist safety in the city. Also, while bike lanes make sense in lower income neighborhoods to provide what we hope is safer access to public transportation hubs, that's not necessarily where they end up. Dr. Samuel Stein, the master's candidate in the urban planning program at City University in New York, wrote that bike lanes being constructed to support gentrification and recruit capital investment, leading to what he labeled as cycling segregation. Urban theorist Richard Florida also points to the double standard that exists. Cycling is positively associated with the, quote, creative class and negatively associated with the African American working class. By the time the bike lane does appear, it might be too late for residents who are rightfully fearful of being pushed out of their own neighborhood by skyrocketing costs of living. So is this another thing that we got to watch out for? Bike lanes. And maybe I'm getting out ahead of myself. Do y'all ride bikes? I know Grant just texted in and talked about going and finding a trail to ride my bike on, which I considered, Grant. Let me read the text message. Professor Hughes, I strongly recommend you taking your bike to one of the bike trails for your cycling experiences in the future. I believe Milwaukee County ranks as #1 in the country for having the best bike trails. This is the safest way to go. And so I considered that. But that's just another time inconvenience. I like the convenience of going in the garage, hopping on my bike. I had a little route that I had planned, right? It's from my house to Midtown. You know, Midtown is all empty. I do a couple of laps around Midtown, and then I would bike back to my house. It was a perfect 30-minute ride. I got a decent amount of exercise. I burned some calories. But if I had to put my bike in my vehicle, drive somewhere to some trail where I likely would be one of the only black people out there, which is not exactly a comforting feeling anyway, ride my bike around some trail, probably get lost, probably get eaten by a bear, and then ride my bike back to my vehicle, put the bike back in the vehicle, and then drive home. That is a whole ordeal where when I have my bike just in my garage and I ride it for 30 minutes around my neighborhood, it's much more efficient. Like, I would have to block off significant amounts of time of my day, which is inconvenient, and it's also less likely that I'm going to do that. It's the same reason why I don't go to the gym. Getting in the vehicle, driving to the gym, working out, getting back in the car, and maybe that sounds minor to y'all, but I can't have any barriers or any additional like time constraints of me going and working out. That's why I bought a treadmill and put it in my house, because then I couldn't complain to myself like, oh, the treadmill is so far away. No, you idiot, it's upstairs. But if I had to go to a gym, and I don't even know why y'all go to gyms anyway. Gyms are generally gross. Not just a bunch of disgusting, sweaty people, but they're just nasty. They're just equipment, and people don't wipe the equipment down. LT says, the Oak Leaf Trail is behind my house. I rollerbladed to pickleball. LT, you clearly are on a whole nother universe. Al says, no bike riding on the city street. Oh, no. Nope for me. All right, thanks, Al. You lazy. LOL, get to the gym. I don't like gyms. Gyms are disgusting. I just the equipment is sweaty. The people are weird. And I don't want to become a gym person. I got a whole bunch of gym people all over my social media. And how do you know the gym people go to the gym? Because they tell you, they post pictures of themselves in the mirror. They got to show everybody their progress. Very little progress, gym people. You're fat in picture number 1. You're even fatter in picture number 2. I can't stand it. I like people go to the gym and they get this feeling of like righteousness. Look at me, everybody. I went to the gym. Oh, what are you doing with your day? It's 5:30 a.m. and I just hit the gym. Oh, this is the one I really love. They get to the gym at 5 o'clock. I don't even know what's wrong with those people. I'm not getting up for 5 o'clock at 5 o'clock for nothing. Like if my house is on fire at 5 o'clock, I still would consider like, well, maybe this fire will die down. I don't want to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. And they'll take a picture of the empty gym parking lot about to get it in. It's 5:02 a.m. Sorry, gym people, but my life is not that sad where I have to get my happiness from going and working out at 5 o'clock in the morning. Grant says, you obviously have never been to a trail if you think you would be the only black person there. Oh, there's blacks on the trail? Like, why are they there? Are they hiding from the police? Like, why are we on the trail? Like, I'm not. Clearly, there's a whole world that exists, Grant, that I'm unaware of. That's just not in my culture. You know, going and biking on a trail by myself? Maybe if I had a bike buddy, I just ain't gonna just go out there solo dolo on my bike and just ride my bike up. I don't know. That's not for me. Wayne says, Sherwin, my pushback to your view on bike lanes is that with the growing use of electric bikes and scooters, bike lanes are needed. Not only do these new vehicles provide a cheaper alternative to Uber and access to public transportation, it expands the traveling geography called DeAndre Mitchell's system if needed. Oh, you said ignore that last part. I'm even more afraid of, I haven't been on a scooter either, but that's the same thing, y'all. When I just come to find out that the increase in pedestrian deaths, including this 11-year-old child that was just killed that got hit on Sunday, the increase in pedestrian deaths is majority black people. Riding a scooter on these dangerous Milwaukee streets, whether you're in a bike lane or not, does not increase our level of safety because the drivers on Milwaukee roads are actually the problem. While I get it in a practical sense, having the bike lanes should be safer for scooters, but it's not. The drivers are just too reckless to be in anything other than a car where you have seatbelts and airbags. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud new home of Marquette University High School football. Be sure to tune in to Marquette Hilltoppers football every Friday night at 7 p.m. as we bring you some of the best gridiron action in the area. Marquette University High School football is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Lefts Lucky Town, Liberty Engineering, and Marquette University High School.
Looking for top-notch computer services? Well, look no further. PWD Computers is your ultimate tech destination. Get ready for seamless computer repair and upgrades. They're your experts in getting devices running smoothly from Windows to Apple. Gamers, take it to the next level with custom-built gaming computers. Business owners, their networking services ensure your success. With 20 years of experience, PWD Computers is your trusted tech partner. Open Monday through Friday from 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. 3800 West Fleet Street in Milwaukee. Experience the future of technology today.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Sherwin Hughes with his truth.
The summer of 2023 will not soon be forgotten as the impact of climate change blanketed our city, literally. Canadian wildfire smoke gave Milwaukee some of the worst air quality in the nation, if not the world. Also, these impacts, because of climate change, showed us that there's yet another disparity for us to be concerned about. African Americans are much more likely to have respiratory illnesses, and black children are much more likely to have asthma. In fact, the Office of Emergency Management data shows a disproportionate amount of calls for respiratory issues because of that wildfire smoke, at 54.8% have been from African Americans. African Americans have higher rates of pre-existing health conditions that would be exacerbated by the particulate matter in that wildfire smoke that we know was caused from lightning and extreme drought conditions to our neighbor to the north in Canada. Black children are much more likely to have asthma than kids of any other races in America, and much more likely to live near polluting plants and in rental housing with mold and other triggers because of the racist housing policies in the nation's past. Their asthma is often more severe and less likely to be controlled because of poor medical care and the mistrust of doctors. Just when we thought we had all the disparities we could shake a stick at, here we go again with Canadian wildfire smoke as an extension of climate change negatively impacting African Americans. Climate change is a global issue. It is a national issue. It's a local issue. Admittedly, the black policy struggle for equality has not focused on climate change, but if the summer of 2023 has showed us anything, now it certainly should be.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
$262-347 says, you and Dion can go biking. He'll protect you from the bears. No, thank you. No, thanks. 414350 says simply, the gym stinks. I've gone to gyms with friends and even a significant other. Just, you get a pass. They give you like a pass to, oh, Sherwin, come check out my gym. All right, I'll check out your gym. Same thing. It's disgusting. Bunch of weird people sweating and breathing all on each other. And then there's always the certain people, I don't want to call them out, but it's rarely a man. Why's your hair and your makeup done and you wearing your cute little gym outfit? You ain't trying to work out, woman. Come on, you know who I'm talking about. They ain't there to get sweaty. Makeup is perfect. Hey, like they did their hair to go to the gym. I ain't there for that. If I'm going to the gym, I'm going to work out and get sweaty and make ugly faces. It's a meat market. Gold's Gym, especially downtown, that's just like a nightclub. All they need is a DJ. All right. John says, I knew somebody would get triggered. Going to the gym that early doesn't make your life sad. The gym sometimes helps you from releasing anger on someone. Oh, okay then, John. C says, you have excuses for everything, man. Just ride. I can't. Where I live, the reckless driving, or in like a 2 or 3 block radius from my house, the reckless driving is insane. So they have speed humps now on like 3 blocks in a row going north from my house on purpose because it's insane. It is so dangerous. And even when I tried riding on the sidewalk, there's people that are backing out of their driveway that don't look in their rearview mirror when they pull out their driveway. And that was more of a risk than riding around on the streets. And the whole point of, me talking about this particular story is that putting bike lanes in is more of a luxury for other people and a sign of gentrification because they do not address the higher number of fatalities of black and brown people in our neighborhoods. And putting a bike lane in does nothing to reduce the number of fatalities. Just like this child that was killed on Fond du Lac over the weekend. 414412 says, I'm not a gym person either. I agree, gyms are disgusting. However, I will get up at 5 a.m. to run, and if due to inclement weather, I will use my treadmill or weights. It shows that I work out, healthy, and mentally feel better. It shows that you do not work out a lot. What? Don't be rude. All y'all got to be jerk. Okay. 414412. Let's see what you look like. Come on, Booger Wolf. Let me see. I work out and it shows. It shows to who? Y'all always got something to say about your boy. LT says, hot chicks, in parentheses, young, go to the gym. See, LT, I don't go to the gym to meet women. I can meet a woman anywhere. I'll meet a woman at the grocery store. I'll meet a woman at the 3rd Street Market Hall. I'll meet a woman by accident. Ain't got to go to no damn gym to meet no woman. Women everywhere. All right. Mr. Matthews says, I ride my bike in Bayview all the time. It's safe, of course. I'm white. 414875 says, it's settled. Bike lanes are racist. Al is the official king of the Truth Nation. He is the most polarizing / popular caller on your show. He should have his own time slot where he discusses church and sex. Dion, the non-voter, says, I have a nice off-roading bike. I used to ride my bike, but when my dog was hurt, I stopped riding. Of course, Linda chimes in. Linda, shouldn't you be celebrating your birthday? Ms. Shack says, Sherwin, that's not the reason you go to the gym in the first place. Wrong mindset. Linda, I know you get dressed up and go to the gym. I know you do. Pick out your sequenced outfit. Probably wear knee-high boots when you go to the gym. Let's talk to Loop. You're on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Hey, man, I was going to talk about the bikes, man, but you struck a nerve with me, man, with these gym people, right? It takes a special type of person. Not the ladies, they're going to do what they do. They want to look nice. But, for a grown-ass man to be in the gym taking selfies and all this type of stuff, man, come on, man. That's sucker stuff, man.
Loop, I think we agree on that. Just be in the mirror taking photographs of themselves.
Come on,
I know
man.
the type. And they got to put it all on the social media.
Bro, bro, come on, man. I can't even deal with that kind of people. I don't want to be around that kind of people. Nothing, bro. Never.
Thank you, Loop. I appreciate your call and agreeing.
Hey, you know
with
what?
my sentiment.
I
Yes,
had
sir.
to tell you one other thing, bro, about the bicycle lanes, right?
Uh-huh.
Yo, I'm from New York City, so I'm used to seeing those, but they actually have those in some of the worst neighborhoods in New York City, surprisingly.
But they don't build them for the people in those neighborhoods. It's more people that live elsewhere that want to ride through those neighborhoods, or they're the first sign of gentrification that a new race of people is moving into that neighborhood because they ride bikes considerably more than we do.
That's facts. That's facts, bro. I give it to you. I was just thinking about that, though. I'm like, man, there actually is a lot of, but that's basically every street in New York. They got the bicycle lane, so that's been there for quite some time.
Thank you, Loop. I appreciate your call.
All right, man. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Loop said grown man in the mirror at the gym are a little suspect. Oh, speaking of New York, it says in 2011, Stein argued that, quote, bicycle planning in New York City currently reflects and amplifies citywide transportation injustice, and that a retooling of the program around the needs of working class cyclists, however, could produce dramatically different results. It's unsurprising that working class neighborhoods, disproportionately black, but not always, reject these symbols of gentrification, racism, and class bias, with their long-term needs not being addressed. And so maybe that's the part that I'm missing. So when I see all these bike lanes that are put in majority black neighborhoods, certainly in the last 10 years, have y'all asked for those? Are y'all ratting your alderman or talking to your alderman saying, hey, I want a bike lane? Are y'all contacting the Department of Public Works and saying, hey, over here on 38th and Burleigh, you know what we really need? We need a bike lane. Because how do those get prioritized in neighborhoods where I don't think that cycling is a thing? I mean, I know people have bikes, but it's not as much of a thing as it is in suburban neighborhoods. And so I think that's where the issue is and where the confusion is, because if y'all are contacting your alderperson about things you want to see changed in traffic, is it installing bike lanes, or is it roundabouts? Is it more stop signs? Is it yield signs? Do you guys want, traffic cameras to catch people that are running these red lights? And maybe that's the part that I'm missing. But the angle of this article saying that bike lanes are not requested by people that live in working class black neighborhoods. They are for people that live elsewhere that want to ride their bikes recreationally through our neighborhoods, which could be the first sign that they're about to move into our neighborhood. I have learned to become cautious of the Caucasian jogger. And so the neighborhood that I live in, I'm in the St. Joseph's neighborhood, and it's kind of block by block. Like each block is different. Some blocks are really, really nice. The yards are landscaped. People have flowers. There's some blocks where it looks like a third world country. And I've noticed something. So for a period of time, when I first moved over there almost 20 years ago in 2004, it was still very diverse. Racially, it was diverse, mostly a working class neighborhood. But then I noticed, like, by 2009 or 10, all of the white folks on my block all moved out except for one. Okay, they left. But now in the last, certainly since the pandemic, I'm noticing more white people walking their dogs, more white people jogging in the neighborhood, and then a white couple moved in across the street. Another racially mixed couple moved in next door. And y'all know that I have my thoughts and feelings about gentrification because what it does, and for me, it isn't that much of a problem because, it's going to increase my property values. But the issue is, why is it that when white people just decide to move in a black neighborhood, that alone makes the property value go up? How is that not wholly offensive to all of us? Just them moving in. And sometimes they don't even do much to fix up the properties, but just them moving in increases the value of the property. But when we live there, the properties are dramatically decreased in value. So there's a study I talked about not too long ago. Black property, okay, just because black people live there in America, is valued at $156 billion less just because it's in a black neighborhood. If we're going to get reparations, we should probably start with fair property valuations. Thank you, guys. I'll see you next time.
August is Black Business Month, and the award-winning 1017 The Truth is teaming up with Associated Bank to celebrate the greatness of Black businesses in our community. Together, we are committed to uplifting local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. This is why I will be spotlighting 4 Black businesses in Milwaukee. Follow 1017 The Truth on social media and YouTube so you can hear the incredible stories of these Black businesses. And make sure y'all buy Black all month long. Whatever your financial needs are, Associated Bank can help. Member FDIC.
Coming with straight truth.
Once you cross that line of destruction and the police get you, and now you want your mama to do something, now you want people to react, talk about free such and such. Once they get you in them handcuffs and get you down there in them jails, you a slave to the state. You ain't got no more freedom. You can't get out here and do what you normally do or walk down the street or enjoy some of these parks or go down to Florida or somewhere on vacation. It ain't none of that.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
Truth Nation, it's your boy Tory Lowe, and I know how much you love listening to me bring all the smoke each and every day from 1 to 4, but now, not only can you hear me bring all the smoke, you can watch me bring all the smoke because the award-winning 1017 The Truth is streaming live. Watch all your favorite shows live.
Yeah, Truth Nation, you heard Tory Lowe right. We are streaming all of our shows live every day. To watch the best radio station with the best on-air hosts in Milwaukee, you have to go to 1017thetruth.com and click the Watch Live link. From there, you'll be able to stream us on YouTube and Twitter and get an inside look on all the fun, like watching me from noon to 1 as I do my daily Fire Freestyle Live. Now, you know your girl got them bars, right, Benjamin?
Yeah, Mel, you got them bars, and the truth is must-see TV. So make sure y'all tap in to see my boy Tory Lowe and my girl Melanie Ricks to do their thing live every day by streaming 101.7 The Truth on YouTube and Twitter. We live, baby.
I'm Tony Burrell, Superintendent of the Wisconsin State Patrol. Public safety is our primary mission. Every day, our troopers and inspectors work hard to keep people and commerce moving safely. But drivers need to do their part. That means following these simple rules. Buckle up, phones down, slow down. Thanks for helping us move towards 0 deaths on Wisconsin roads.
A life-saving message sponsored by the U.S. and Wisconsin DOTs. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I got my COVID-19